Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 234. Sorry, 234. I was thinking 234, and I was like 200 and 234. That doesn't make any sense.
342.
Yeah.
Let's just start doing random numbers.
Oh yeah. All right, 511. Episode 511.
I like it.
And then people
does
can
it really
guess.
matter that we have numbers? Like,
Yes,
not really.
It's tradition.
Oh, does
That's
it matter?
what it is.
Oh.
It matters. Yeah.
is anybody like, oh, I missed episode 420. I better go back and listen to it.
I bet
Probably not, because
Yeah.
people were angry at us. So maybe
People were angry at us.
too many drugs, man. Too many drugs.
Too many drugs.
Oh.
Oh, that's right.
Those
that
are the
episode.
people that were
I forgot
okay
about that
with being
episode.
angry at us. Was that the one Wilson was on?
Oh yeah. Wilson was on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
a
I got
fun
a little.
episode.
I got to talk
He's
to
a,
him
he's
about
a
that
fun
one.
guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
My goodness. Yeah, we have to do the numbers because it's tradition. And what if we have a fan out there, a listener, that is dedicated to making sure they listen to every single episode? And then we suddenly
But they're all
start.
listed chronologically, like in any app that you would listen to them.
Well, yeah, but it's
Listen, we can
principle?
type the right number. We can say
I'm
a
going on
made-up
number strike.
number
I'm not
strike.
doing it anymore. I'm
This-
not writing the numbers anymore.
No numbers. No more numbers.
Title, straight
Alphabetical?
to the title.
This is how you know it's
Yeah.
a slow news week. You're like, I gotta find something to be upset about. I'm gonna go with numbers.
This week's
Gotta
title
make a
is
stand
True
about
Vanguard
something.
talks about butt stuff.
How much time you got?
And TV's
As
here.
much
to
time
talk
as you
about butt
need,
stuff.
TV. As much time. How everyone? TV, how are you, man?
Living the dream.
Yeah, nice.
We good. I got a shot number 1 a couple
Oh, me
weeks
too,
ago.
man.
So
Congratulations.
Nice.
I'm like counting down the days, you know.
Which one
I'm
did
so
you get?
close.
The Moderna or the
Oh
Pfizer?
no, I got Pfizer, baby.
The Pfizer. That's the primo, right?
Yeah,
top
no,
shelf.
listen, we got the good stuff.
I like
Okay.
Primo.
Yeah.
I
Primo.
wanted the
Well,
Johnson & Johnson, but now everybody's saying like maybe not so much.
Gonna get
So,
a
I
blood
don't
clot.
know.
1 in a million chance of a blood
Yeah.
clot.
Yeah,
It's a very small
literally
chance.
1 in a million.
It is a very, very small chance. My thing is
Well-
like, if you have access to another one, though, you might as well
Yeah.
take the one that's shown, no problem.
Uh,
But if
I
you
like
don't
the
have
J&J
access,
because it was one
and done.
though.
One and
I was
done.
like, oh,
Yeah.
wanted.
the
are we gonna start having gang wars between who had which vaccination?
well, it's like
I
Destiny.
think we should.
Well, because you have the vaccination card, right? So it says
Okay,
right
let me ask you
there.
this. Let me ask you this. Which one is the hunter? Is it the J&J because it's
Pfizer.
risky? Or is it, Pfizer, you know?
Does sound right.
I feel like it's the J&J because of the risk involved, even though there's very low risk. But,
I'm going to
it's
be
like
a J&J
the perception.
poser. I'm going to start telling people I got the J&J.
Day one alpha J&J user.
Yeah.
They
I'm just
want
going to
J&J.
pose as a J&J.
There you go.
California just opened it up for us. So now I
Same
have to.
with Washington.
Yeah. So you going, for me,
Nice.
I'm going through the websites, every single one, signing
Yeah.
up for needless accounts and then saying, we're all booked up,
Yeah.
but thanks for your information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was sign up for all those useless accounts and then stay logged in and like every day, spend a little bit of time every day trying to actually like get a shot. But it only took me a week to get one. So it wasn't as bad as a PlayStation 5.
That's right. Our problem is the opposite in Michigan. It's like they opened it up to everyone and like they got these big centers set up and you just book an appointment and they're like, hey guys, we got lots of spaces. Anybody else? Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are like, nah, I'm good.
All right.
It's like going to a
So-
football game when there's not a football game scheduled for that day. So you just go into like an empty stadium.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like those are the kinds of places they're doing. Ford Field in Detroit was doing them. A big like convention center in Grand Rapids where I live did it. So I got in on day one, and I was so excited about it because there were so many people. But it was obviously all distance out. But I was like in a room filled with people again. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, we're all here for the same thing. My people, felt good about it. But then kind of a bummer that stuff slowed down so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should come to Michigan to get a shot.
Dude, come on over.
Just make a quick 2,000-mile trip.
My aunt went up to Vermont.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like like by other states, like anything south of, or anything like west of here, it's probably not that long a drive, but for her it was like 3 hours, which was a long drive.
Yeah.
It's a long job.
Sure. Like 4 different states to go. 3 hours.
Man, it's hilarious. Literally, just the other day, I actually drove 4 hours. I drove 200 miles in one day. I had a gig going on, and I did that. And I thought about
gig.
A gig. Wait, back
not
up.
a music gig. It wasn't a music gig. It wasn't a music gig. It was a photo gig. All right,
gig?
Videography, photo type of thing. But like,
Are you modeling? Is
no,
it for your
I'm behind the
beard oil
camera.
company?
I'm behind the
He's
camera.
like, let me talk.
I happen to be behind the
that
camera for this particular
OnlyFans
thing.
page.
That's right.
Oh.
No, but like we had driven like 200 miles that day, and I was like, this is the type of thing where people outside of California or outside of big states, I should say, if you're like where Briar is, be like, damn, this is just so damn far. And I'm like, it wasn't that far.
I could drive like Boston, New York, Washington, and that would still be inside of California.
Yeah. It's a big state.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah, it is a big state.
You know?
Tall.
Yeah. It's not Alaska. It's not Texas. Talk about big things. How about them Guardian games?
How about them? They're switching it up with Guardian games this year.
They are. I'm gonna say, I kind of dig it. We'll get into it, but what I'm seeing, I dig it more than last year.
Oh, actually, sorry. Before we get into Destiny specific stuff, we should probably talk about the Bungie job opening thing. And
let's talk about
speculate about that type of thing.
This is going to be a live reaction from Briar Rabbit's brain.
I can teach them all about how to open doorknobs properly, and
you could be QA. You got to test the doorknobs, make sure they work.
Yeah, right.
Briar QA,
personal
LLC.
health inspector.
So this is a story. Well, not a story. It's a job posting that Bungie put. And it is for Bungie's new unannounced IP/franchise to feature competitive PvP multiplayer with esports landscape and mechanics. So I'm going to read the full thing of just what the job listing is, and we can look at Briar's surprised face for a reaction video and maybe a thumbnail.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Are you on a mission to create games that bond players together into deeply invested communities? Do you spend your time deconstructing the latest PvP games to understand how they work? Do you analyze how team play dynamics are affected by everything from moment-to-moment abilities to high-level macro objectives? Are you excited to design game systems that allow for interesting strategic decisions? Multiple vectors of player learning and the depth to support hundreds of hours of gameplay. As a multiplayer systems designer, you will work with a team of prototype different game ideas on the path to production. Most importantly, you will work with a fun, dedicated, and passionate crowd. So the responsibilities, and we have responsibilities and required skills: conceive of, build, and iterate on competitive multiplayer game mechanics that provide strategic depth and opportunities for counterplay. Experience shipping ongoing live updates, technical experience, but here's the interesting one: strong familiarity with global gaming markets and the competitive gaming / esports landscape.
Does global gaming markets mean China?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it on the globe still?
Is this a mobile?
Is this going to be a mobile game?
Yeah. A mobile game?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you look at League of Legends and like in China and all that. That's huge. Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Those are massive games in China.
Is this news? Because I thought we already knew this was happening.
We knew that a PvP competitive based game was happening. I think probably the newer stuff to learn about is that they're talking about high level macro objectives. They're talking about esports. They're talking about depth of strategy and all that stuff. So it's
the wording there with the prototypes, it makes it sound like it's hey, we got some stuff kind of already established, some ideas that we fleshed out. The way that they worded that, it made it sound like we got a few projects here trying to get some direction on and see what's going to take off.
Still early.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost I'll be honest, I'm almost more disappointed than surprised about this, because for some reason, because I'd heard so many rumors about this, I thought that it was further along in development than this job posting would. I mean, How am I gonna get disappointed about an unannounced game? But I for some reason I thought it was
That's the clickbait title. Briar's disappointed.
coming soon. Yeah, so disappointed.
Bungie disappoints Briar again.
Sad Briar. I think it's really fascinating because I know they've mentioned they're making a PvP game, but this sounds like they're really doubling down, going for something that could be in the League of Legends or Overwatch, like Valorant type of space, because they're saying specifically strategy, and mechanics of those type of strategies combined with esports arena. Also looking for like I said, global. So a global perspective on this. So like teams and like the esport things that are involved with that. And I think it's really fascinating to kind of read between the lines. Like, I know this isn't Destiny, and they can make multiple games under one studio, but the little bit of me says I'm not surprised that the PvP side of Destiny has gotten so little versus potentially another franchise or another title that's going to get the majority of the PvP focus, I guess. Like obviously PvP is not going to go away in Destiny, clearly, and it's going to be a core component in the Destiny universe. But the competitive side of PvP, maybe that really has been curtailed with the option of a different game that's getting those like the real in-depth look at for what could be competitive.
Part of me says I really hope that isn't an excuse for sidelining potential updates to PvP and Destiny in the recent, because we've been talking about this a lot lately in the PvP community. It's been 2 years since our last wave of new maps, and they all got taken out because no one liked them.
Mm-hmm.
But when Forsaken came out, that was the last time we had a full wave of maps. We got Fragment, but I mean that's one map, and again, even that was, I mean, how long ago? That's over a year ago. What, a year and a half or so?
It's been so long since a new map has been added.
Been a very long time.
And you consider the Bungie expanding their workforce by quite a bit as well in the past year. I mean, part of me would say I don't want to use that as an excuse for not seeing anything new. Saying that they're working on another project, I mean, that definitely has me excited, but I certainly hope it doesn't end up being a thing where they have to sideline opportunities to expand the PvP experience for Destiny lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it definitely shouldn't be an excuse for like new maps and stuff. I could see how it could maybe make them more comfortable with accepting Destiny's like crazy madness PvE, take your PvE guns and go to PvP. So maybe that makes them more comfortable to just embrace the madness instead of trying to balance everything perfectly and create this competitive shooter in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'm fine with that. If you want to have a shooter, I don't even know if you want to have a shooter that's very competitive and you can sink a lot of time into getting really good at, and then have a shooter where, you can go and do crazy stuff and make crazy builds and cause chaos.
Yeah.
I'd be down with
You
that.
think this is in the Destiny universe? Like it'll be another game inside the Destiny universe?
Called the Sidelines.
I'm gonna fall off the log. That'd be a good thing to kind of cast your lot on and see who ended up being right. I'm gonna fall off the log. I'm gonna say no.
I'm leaning towards no. It would be kind of hilarious if it was a like hero based shooter and you could be Ikora or Zavala and they have abilities.
Skolas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Crota.
Probably not.
Destiny's a huge brand.
It is, yeah.
And,
you wouldn't have to do the world building there because it's already done.
Right.
Yeah. Or you could do something like what who developed Titanfall and Respawn. Like you could do something like what they did. It was like, even though it's in the same world, it's not necessarily branded to Titanfall.
Yeah. I could see that for sure. It's tough to say because like from a marketing perspective, I think it would be brilliant to have connections in the Destiny universe with
maybe not, because Destiny has good and bad sides of their kind of brand cachet, right?
I think the good far outweigh the bad side, personally.
It's hard to say because I think when people hear, I mean, we've seen it in chat where people are like, well, Destiny has peer-to-peer servers, so you can't make a competitive game on peer-to-peer servers, or they don't know how to balance things. So they're taking what is happening with Destiny and applying it to this brand new game. So maybe it could be good because it's like, hey, Destiny is a huge franchise, but it could be bad because people know that Destiny
That's
PvP
right.
isn't great. So
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, well, this must suck because
That's
it's
Or
exactly
anybody
right.
who tried out Destiny for a while and bounced off of it could dismiss another Destiny game
Mhm.
out of hand without.
But
But
yeah,
every
could,
Still
Destiny
Bungie,
PvP
though,
fan is going to
no
be like
matter what.
automatically signed up.
yeah, it's still Bungie, and they could totally just drop the Destiny name, just like you said with Apex Legends. Like you didn't know it's
Yeah.
Titanfall. You're in the world of
No.
Titanfall. They could call it
Mhm.
like
True.
Tides of Darkness PvP experience or something, and people be like, "Whoa, what is this dark sounding
Yeah.
I think we
edgelord
should
title?"
workshop that a little bit.
Working title.
Yeah,
Working
that's
title.
right. That's right. Yeah, I guess
I don't know, like
Wasn't
guess
that the
that's
name of a
the-
Warcraft expansion?
Thanks. I don't
I
play
think
Warcraft.
Watts is
We need
barking up
Patrick
the
here.
right tree, though. I think just because of the community that they're trying to reach with this, it sounds like is that sort of esports side of things. I think for
Mhm.
that exact reason, that's the reason I would fall off the log and say, if that's the community that they're trying to reach and that's the demographic they want to dive into, I think they're going to go away from Destiny. But we'll see. Time will tell.
So I could definitely see it on both ways because I just want to say real quick that like the franchise is there and it's massive. Like you said, the world building's already there. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. They could absolutely just want to make a brand new game and try to be like a multi-game studio, so they're not just sunk so hard into the Destiny brand.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is they don't live and die by Destiny. They're not just the Destiny company.
Yeah.
Right. I'm really excited though to see what Bungie can make in a modern time because obviously PvP games have changed a lot from when they were making Halo. We know that they've been able to make a really good competitive shooter with Halo.
Mhm.
But just it's going to be really interesting to see what Bungie does with a game that they are specifically targeting for esports and competitive and like these very kind of high level learning, high level plays, and
Yeah.
see what they can come up with in a modern world. I'm
That scares
interested
me
to
a
see what
little
that
bit
looks like.
because so many games that are coming out that say esports, like developed for esports, are like, I don't know, they just don't go anywhere, right? They don't draw enough big enough crowd to keep them going.
Yeah, takes a lot of push.
Yeah, but these days, so many, especially young, talented gamers, are always looking for what's a new title that I can showcase my skill in to, try and launch my brand, launch my platform, launch my stream, all that stuff. Maybe we get those TikTok uploads and all that business, right? Everyone's looking for some prime new landscape, where they can showcase their talent. And I think for that reason, a game that hits that crowd might take off in the current landscape if it's made by a studio with a reputation for making good PvP.
Do you think it would be an FPS?
If it's again, we're only guessing, but Bungie is so good at making a fluid first-person shooter. Like seriously, I've been playing tons of other games these days, and I always just in the back of my mind is like, man, Destiny just feels so good in terms of your movement and the fluidity of the gameplay. Is just so natural, and not a lot of studios have nailed that down the way that Bungie has.
Yep.
So I feel like, man, you got to play to your strengths.
Honestly, to like reading it, to me it sounds like a MOBA.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I get that vibe
like,
too.
Yeah, right, because it's high level macro objectives, moment to moment abilities, team play dynamics. I'm like, sounds like a MOBA.
I mean, we've seen like that crossover before, first person shooter and MOBA, right? And it didn't catch, but that doesn't mean that if somebody did it right, it wouldn't catch.
That's true. We don't actually know. Like they could still do a first person game, but it could be in any subgenre of competitive game.
Yeah. I personally feel like the first person shooter genre just needs an evolution, to be honest with you. It feels like it's been a while since we've gotten like a really revolutionary change. I think the last time I really saw one was with the like the PUBG / Apex Legends kind of style of game. I think it's time for some big. Honestly, before that, it was Trials of Osiris. Like I'd never seen a game mode like Trials of Osiris.
Yeah, it's true.
Before that, it was probably Call of Duty.
Yeah, you're gonna have to solve a Rubik's cube in VR while you shoot someone in the face.
That's it. That's you. Every time you get into an engagement, Rubik's cube pops up.
That is literally a game I can't win.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever solved the Rubik's cube?
Yes, once.
Yeah.
I did it. and
I
was
mean,
like,
I
all
moved
right.
the stickers too, Tefty. That doesn't count.
Don't be hating.
I don't have the patience.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm fascinated by the people who could do it in like 4 seconds, though.
Oh yeah, for
It's
sure.
pretty cool.
Do you guys remember in Jason Schreier's book how he was talking about like in the original Destiny was trying to move away from being a first-person shooter, and they were like, "We're just so good at making first-person shooters.
God, we're just so talented at making
really
guns
good at
feel
it.
great.
Just
God.
makes so much sense to just make a first-person shooter." I wonder if they're gonna try. Like, I wonder if that's a discussion that's going on internally right now with Bungie of being like, "Are we going to do this again? Are we making another first-person?" Yeah,
I mean, they're good at it.
they are.
I'd say
They're really good at it.
They're like
Every
among
game
the
I play.
best.
Every game I play, I'm just like, doesn't feel like Destiny. Now I miss Destiny. Now I want to go play Destiny.
Yeah.
Every time.
I got
Battleborn,
now.
that's what it was.
I'm getting. Yeah, Battleborn. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm getting close to 100 hours in Outriders right now, and I adore that game. Absolutely adore it. But there's this one thing: is just the movement and gunplay is sometimes infuriating
Yeah.
with how good the looting aspect of it and the build crafting and all that stuff. Having been a Destiny gamer for the better part of a decade now, there's sometimes stuff
shit.
happens where you're just like, "Argh," you know.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it just work?
I
It just
noticed.
worked, man.
I noticed the reticle in Outriders. It is not congruent with where the bullet's going to be going. With like because the barrel of the gun might be swaying or something, and I feel like it's the barrel of the gun dictates where the stuff shoots versus the actual reticle. on
Oh,
there.
really?
I think is what I've seen because it is distinctly not as good as Destiny. Like,
Well, yeah. So there's accuracy values on all the guns. So your reticle is really just a circle, and how tight that circle is depends on the variation of the gun. So it's going to go anywhere in that circle. It's not necessarily going to go right in that middle, or you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I mean, they have my attention. Like, if Bungie's working on a new game, for sure, they have my attention. Like, I'm
Of
gonna
course.
check it out.
yeah,
I'll try anything they throw out into the world. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. I'll give it a try.
Yeah,
even,
pretty
even
much.
if it is a solve a Rubik's cube. VR, I'll play it once.
All right, you might have lost me there.
I want to know what their
Yeah.
damn like
Oh, wow.
whimsical, lighthearted game is, because that's very different to just an FPS game.
I forgot
Yeah.
about this actually.
Yeah, there was another job listing for do you like making whimsical magical worlds or something? I'm like, what's that?
Destiny Universe dating game, like
Oh,
dating profile.
sold.
Get to try it. Get your
Dating
flirt
sim.
on with this different Eris.
There's a lot of
girl.
characters. They could do that. They have
Yeah.
they have a big cast.
I hope it's rated
Yeah.
M.
What if there's a hive knight that's just got a heart of gold, doesn't want to hurt anything, It's like giving up its blade.
I'm sold. I'll play that game.
That sounds silly.
Imagine if you could play the Dream Daddy, but it's in the Destiny world.
Yes.
I'm in.
There
I'm
you go.
sold.
Yeah.
Destiny the Sims. Yeah.
Day one buy.
So Guardian Games is coming on April 20th.
Uh-huh.
That's next
It's
week.
making the return.
Yeah. Making some big changes to Guardian Games and the way it works, too. There's going to be a new playlist just for Guardian Games that has its own rules and buffs and modifiers and all sorts of crazy shit's going on in there.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
We got it
Sounds
really
very
does,
interesting,
right?
Briar. How about you read the whole article to us? I can read it if you don't want to.
Awesome. You're the best.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to be like. I thought your pride would kick in, Briar, and you're like, no, I'll take
I
it.
have no pride.
How long have you known me?
True, that's true. Guardian Games coming back. So obviously last year was not the most exhilarating gameplay experience.
Yep.
Got kind of bored halfway through. So obviously there was a lot of feedback, as you can imagine, about it sucking. So they've changed a bunch of things. So there's now medals, and the medals have different values. So bronze medal is 1 point, silver medal is 2 points, gold is 5 points, and platinum is 15 points. And with last year, they were trying to make up for the population difference by just basically cheating hunters out of wins.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still salty
Yeah.
about this, by the way. You know,
If you're a hunter
Yeah.
main,
By
yes,
the
that is
way-
your default state. So
Just-
I'm still
well, it's just BS, man. It's like, well, there happens to be a lot more of you guys there, so we're going to nerf your chances of winning. I'm like, excuse me, just because people pick hunter, you shouldn't be nerfed because of that. Anyways,
well, good news.
Yeah,
Mr.
tell me the
Tessie.
good news.
They're changing the way that works.
damn right.
So they
Yeah.
said that we still have to account for different class populations. So this year, the class that comes in third place each day gets a permanent 10% bonus on scoring going forward. They say that we've tested this new scoring system using last year's data and a few other data sets, and it seems to provide a more competitive Guardian games when we see different classes winning throughout the event. Hunters will likely win early because there's a lot of hunters. But eventually the competition should tighten up because they'll get 10% bonus every day.
sure.
Every day.
Air day.
So actually the play is to lose early on.
So you want to sandbag a week
Yeah.
straight, Warlocks?
Don't
That's what
even
we're gonna
play.
do.
Just turn the game off for
log
like a
in.
week.
Yeah.
And then-
What
feel
if
like-
all of us as hunters collectively decide to, you know what? I'll check out my warlock for the first week of Guardian Game. Let's do it.
I really feel like hunters would play
That's
that
Warlock
way.
Brothers.
That's the big play right
Yeah.
there. Make another
Yeah.
class win and then just log off. Everyone gets on hunters with your like 80%, 90, 150% buff. And
Yeah.
then you bring it home.
And
Gold.
bring home the bacon.
All gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, who won last year? It was Titans, right?
Those Titans.
Yep.
Yeah, that was what a fix. Who's running this sham show?
You know, it's all it taught us is that Titans really love bounties. So I don't know if that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, it's the short-term goals that they can understand. They really like that.
Oh, I get to go kill 5 hive. I can do that, I think. I can do that.
How many?
Yeah, you're like, how many was that? Let me check again. As
I like this
Brian-
idea, to be honest with you. All
yeah,
joking aside, I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, hopefully, it means that like it'll be a surprise. Like, who's gonna win, and they're gonna do it like weekly, right? There's gonna be like kind of like an awards weekly.
Yeah, it's actually I really like a lot of the things that they've done. So let's first we'll go into the new Guardian Games playlist, which Briar touched
Yes.
on. So it's basically going to be like the Vanguard Strike playlist, but groups of players play together by class. So if you're on a hunter, you're gonna only play with other hunters.
That's fun. That's a
Yeah.
cool idea.
I
wish they
really
would bring
like
this.
this.
I wish they would make a PvP playlist like this too.
You know, I thought that, and then I thought I'm going to be going against 6 Stasis Titans, and then I thought,
Yeah,
no
that's true.
thanks. That sounds not fun.
You make a strong point.
I like the idea though that it's like an actual class v class
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
because it makes sense. It's the Guardian Games. You're fighting Guardians. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But this playlist gives you an opportunity to kind of like bond. I don't know that you'll be
Yeah.
bonding. It's not like you're going to be chatting with these people most of the time, I would imagine. But like to feel like you're part of a community working together toward a goal,
Right.
right? I think that's
Exactly.
cool.
It's still
That's
a
a
sense
good
of
idea.
camaraderie, right? You might not be
Yes.
communicating with each other, but it's not just you're separate doing bounties and then like maybe someone wins. It's you're playing with your fellow
Hunters.
hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunters.
So, the way this works, so there's a couple things that they're doing. I invited Fran to come on the podcast purely due to this explanation because I was excited about him being confused trying to figure it out. But alas, he couldn't make
He
it.
dodged. I think he's still in
He
traffic getting his vaccine.
That's true. He went on an epic adventure to get a vaccine.
That's true.
So modifiers. This new playlist will have gameplay modifiers added based on the previous day's class standing. Classes will get a beneficial modifier tied to gold, silver, and bronze. So if you placed gold in the day before, you will get health, shields, and recovery increase, as well as kinetic weapons dealing more damage. If you place silver, melee abilities recharge faster, elemental damage increased from guardian sources, and more heavy ammo. And then bronze is grenade abilities deal more damage and recharge much faster, and elemental damage increased from guardian sources.
This is awesome. You
Love
get
it.
a
Right.
reward for performing well but it's not the rich getting richer because the third place team gets a 10% buff.
Yeah.
I like the things they have going on in it. You know, technically could be some strategy to it.
Yeah.
Not that the whole entire world of hunters and warlocks are going to be strategizing together. But
Yeah, I really like where they're going with this. Also
me too.
the pros and cons side of it, like the negative stuff. Like I think this is brilliant. So yeah,
let's get into. So there's also going to be negative modifiers added to the playlist to make things a little more challenging for the leaders. So this is I'm going to read the full thing because people in chat when I was reading it got very confused. So I'm just going to read it. The gold class gets 2 modifiers and the silver class gets 1. These modifiers are themed around the classes that finished lower on the podium. So bronze Titan is combatant melee attacks deal more damage. Bronze Warlock is incoming damage increased while airborne. And Bronze Hunter is radar is disabled.
No problem.
Oh, man.
No problem.
Warlock one. Oh, I hate that. What was that perk called? Was that airborne?
Airborne.
The one that you always got damage more when you were in there?
That modifier.
Yeah. I hated that.
Grounded, isn't that what it's called?
Grounded.
Was it grounded?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
The silver, so Titan Silver, is combatant melee attacks deal significantly more damage. Warlock incoming damage significantly increased while airborne. And Hunter Silver is radar is disabled and combatants don't flinch when damaged.
No
now
problem.
I'm going to explain how you get the negative modifiers. So prepare yourself because people's brains were having a sad time. So silver classes only get the modifier from the bronze class below them. Gold classes get a combination of both silver and bronze. So if you are a hunter and you're in gold, so you're first place the previous day, you got gold. Yeah. You will be getting either the Titan thing where it's combatant melee attacks deal more damage and incoming damage significantly increased while airborne, or flipped where it's combatant melee attacks deal significantly more damage or incoming damage is increased while airborne. So when you're looking at this graphic, ignore your class. Just your class is irrelevant.
Yeah, I didn't realize this.
Your class is irrelevant. You're going to be getting the modifiers of the 2 classes you're not playing.
Oh,
and then if you are silver, you'd only be getting bronze. So say if warlocks came in last and you came in second, whatever you're playing, you'll be getting incoming damage increased while airborne.
So if I'm a hunter and we won yesterday, I get the buff of 10% extra to my kinetic damage, right?
Yes.
But I get 2 nerfs.
Correct.
One from the Titans, who came in third, of course. And the second one from the Warlocks, who came in second.
Yes.
So I get 1 buff and 2 nerfs.
Yes.
Interesting. It's gonna be, and every day is gonna be different.
It is.
It's gonna be interesting.
Well, it's not, because it's always gonna be in the same order. Hunters are gonna win, and then I guess my buffs will swap every once in a while, depending on if Warlocks and Titans show up.
Brian and I are gonna have a 1v1 right after this. By the way.
I like this though. I like the fact that there's a specific playlist for this where you get to play with the other class men, and I like the negatives and the positives.
Yeah,
exactly.
This feels like a legit event. I especially like the fact with the whole playlist thing that's going to make you match up with others of the same class. So you're going to be experiencing the same buffs and debuffs with that squad every time.
Oh my god, yeah, the whole squad. Yeah. That's right. Good point.
It's fascinating.
And they've got a lot of competition out there with games that are doing these limited time events, because some of the limited time modes in other games are pretty freaking cool. I know like Apex Legends has been doing a bunch of them this season. They've got like a whole new character named Maggie who she takes over the games. The normal commentator's out and she's in, and she changes up the rules on you every day. And it just kind of makes it really fun and interesting,
That's cool.
So I'm all for it. They've got some competition out there, and I think that's good. It breeds competition, breeds creativity.
Absolutely.
They should get Shaxx drunk every now and then. Like, we got drunk Shaxx for the
drunk
Crucible
Shaxx
day.
on the field.
Because that's right.
So besides that, we have a medal case. So you will receive a medal case from Ava to store your hardware until you're ready to visit the podium in the tower to bank them for your team. Once
Is
you
it
have
made
the
out of metal?
maximum.
Maybe.
Why'd everybody get so quiet?
That was like
Good
really
thought.
uncomfortable. I don't know what he said. Do you guys know what he said? I don't know.
No,
made
I
out
have
of
no
metal.
Made
idea.
out of
I
metal.
have no idea what he said.
It says it's made out of metal.
Yeah.
How would?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was, I decided to turn it into a stare down.
We're gonna say rare
Big
earth
monsters.
metals.
For your
Yes.
medals?
Rare metals.
Yes.
For the metal case.
It's a metal case made of prior metals,
Rare earth
which is made
metals.
of metals. Yes. So once you have the maximum medals for certain type in your case, make sure you turn them in, as any more earned for that type will be lost. So that's, of course, like bronze, silver, gold, plat medals. So make sure you turn them in, because if you don't, even if you turn in triumphs and stuff, you're just going to lose it. They do not go to the postmaster. So turn in your goddamn medals.
Turn them in.
Hunters.
Okay.
Everyone, warlocks
it.
and titans, don't worry about it. They auto turn in. You don't need to even think
Yeah.
about it. They
Right.
they auto pick up. You don't need to pick them up, and they auto turn in. So
Nice one.
it's because
got
hunters
space
came
age
last. so,
technology.
they're,
Automatic
punished
deposits. They scan it with their phone, the little barcode, and automatically goes in the account. You're good. Don't worry
yeah,
about
you
it.
don't need to
Right,
go.
you
You
just
don't need
take
to
a picture
physically
of it.
go there.
Yeah, us hunters, we have to do the heavy lifting. We have to bring our rare metals in.
Yeah.
This is just typical hunter behavior, just assuming they're the smartest people in the room. Like, oh, we got one. These are the same people that just literally 2 minutes ago did this.
We were trying to make it as awkward as possible. All right.
Everyone in chat's like, did the stream freeze? Just freeze.
Hoping someone's driving and be like, "Did my
Honestly,
connection
people
drop?"
asking if it froze made it totally worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna do that more often, randomly.
I know.
Randomly,
That's
I'm
what I was
just gonna do
thinking. I was like, we need to have a DCP dropout every now and then, being like, "What's happening?"
It's like when Eric's would randomly like disappear or lag out
Yeah.
or freeze.
Oh,
It'll be
right.
like that. I miss those days, actually. That was funny.
Mhm.
Then you had to get good internet. Damn it.
We also have something new, which is the Contender card. This year, we're introducing a new way to earn points for your team called Contender cards. You'll be able to pick these up from Ava in exchange for laurels. That's a funny word. Laurels. Laurels.
Rest on your laurels.
And can have one active at any given time. Completing objectives in Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit will grant a gold medal upon completion. There's also a special platinum Contender card that will focus on completing objectives in Nightfalls, Survival, and Trials. This will be the only way to earn platinum medals. So completing a platinum card will earn you an all-star status and a
Ooh.
special reward at the next podium ceremony.
Mhm.
I just want
Fancy.
Shax to say something like, way to go, sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good glow up.
And it says, make sure you complete your platinum Contender card before daily reset on Friday if you want to lock in your all-star status for the weekend.
Is that for all classes? Do all classes have to do that, or is it just hunters?
It's just hunters.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
There's a different Contender card for Titans and Warlocks.
Titans and warlocks, they get like an auto completion type of thing. Yeah, because life's easy when you're a titan or a warlock. Yeah.
You get it from your best friend, the crow. You fucking traitors.
Crow might be our Vanguard, bro. Briar.
It's true.
You wear this?
At
Not
the
my
closing
Vanguard.
ceremony.
Hashtag not my Vanguard.
Well, it is the Guardian games, and we kind of need a homie. So
Do you think they're gonna have like a Crow inauguration for him becoming the Hunter Vanguard at the end of this event?
that's gonna be? I'm gonna say it right now. That's gonna be the closing ceremony of the Guardian games. It's gonna be introducing the Crow as the new Hunter Vanguard.
I'm willing to bet that.
So you're saying Outriders is good?
So every Friday there's going to be a daily reset on Friday, and then that kind of starts this like weekly weekend ceremony thing. So it's the podium ceremony. Every weekend there will be a special ceremony where you'll be able to show off a glow from your class item depending on your class's standing that week. Third place receives a bronze glow. Second place receives a silver glow. First place receives a gold glow. And all stars receive a platinum glow.
Who's gonna rock a bronze glow?
Just take it off.
Last place. Like that.
No, that's when you
It's
just
like
say,
a
I'm
spray on
stacking up
tan.
the percentages. I'm stacking.
right.
I'm scaling. Okay.
Do you carry that with you all week or just during the ceremony?
I think it's all week until the next ceremony, but
Cool.
don't quote me on that. I think I'm just making it up. They also said we'll be throwing a special final weekend closing ceremony in the tower that will be live from May 7th to May 11th to celebrate the winning class. So if it's not hunters, just skip out on the tower for, a couple of days.
Is this
Yeah,
going to
together.
be a like a event like that you have to log into at a certain time to see it happen, or is it just going to happen when you log in during?
It's from May 7th to 11th, so I don't.
So it'll just happen kind of whenever you log in during that time.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Okay.
Cool.
And then there's a bunch of loot. So they show all of the armor. They show sparrows. You can also get Heir Apparent. Heir Apparent is coming back, and it's getting a catalyst and also getting a pretty cool ornament.
Is this the first time?
Yeah,
it's
that
been
ornament
back?
is dope.
Is this the first time it's been back, or has it been available before?
It's the first time it's been back, except when it was
Correct.
bugged and people could get it from the
Ah.
kiosks.
It's funny because the last time I grinded for it was literally because I was afraid that they were going to not make it available until sometime down the road. Turns
Hey,
out,
a year later.
yeah, literally a year later, it was pretty much spot on.
It does say that the catalyst for Heir Apparent will provide even beefier shields for you. So
Oh, really?
you just run around being a tank.
Yeah.
Sounds
Wait,
good.
so the
That kinda
catalyst will actually improve the. Oh wait, no, my bad. Yeah, of course it does.
It makes it worse, Briar.
I was thinking
Briar's like-
ornament. In my head, I was thinking ornament, not catalyst.
Yeah, they.
Because
Ornament
I was just
available
reading the
from
stuff about
Eververse.
Eververse.
Makes
Yeah, I was
your
just reading about the stuff
shield
from
better.
I'm having
Eververse.
a hard time understanding this one, Briar. I can draw it out on a napkin with some crayons if you want.
If you could,
Thank you.
Visual.
I'd appreciate that.
I did main a Titan for a couple of years.
So they also said, of course, there's going to be Eververse collectibles, including, but not limited to, a new Universal Ornament armor set. And at Beyond Light's release, we said we would be working to make future Universal armor sets more accepting of shaders. This is really interesting.
That's good.
I would actually love to see the tech behind this because they said that new tech allows us to achieve this change more easily. So
that's good.
I'm wondering what their new shader tech is. But yeah, so the glow that you're wearing on the class items will change color based on the shader you're using,
Cool.
which is very cool.
Yeah,
Hey, looks
That's
matter.
what I love to see.
they do in Destiny.
So
they
the
do.
glow, the class items they show in the Eververse picture with the armor, that is the stuff that you earn. But the armor itself you buy through Eververse, right?
So looking at the two different armor sets, they
Yeah.
definitely look different. I think it's, there's just an armor set that you earn and then an armor set that you buy.
Like they're similar, but the one that you buy looks a little, I don't know, fancier.
And it takes shaders instead of being like, the bronze glow or the silver glow or the whatever glow. Platinum glow.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
Is
There's a water bottle ghost and a tennis ball ghost with a sweatband on his head.
Does anybody else get like
Pretty good.
serious Richie Tenenbaum vibes off the tennis ball ghost with the
I love it.
headband?
I love that ghost.
That's good.
I need that ghost. You can see all the texture of the grass on it and fake grass, and it's got the little sweatband.
Mm,
Yeah,
Adorable.
it's good.
cool.
There's also some new Bungie rewards. So there is a it's like a sports jacket for
Yeah, like kind of a
sports
zip up
people.
sweatshirt
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Sporty.
So it's like a sport, like a sports.
That's gonna look awesome. I need matching Crocs to go with that sweatshirt.
Guardian Games Crocs.
Well, that's a good idea.
That's what we
Mhm.
need.
It says in order to unlock it, it's players who have earned the Guardian Games Exotic Sparrow get a code to purchase the exclusive Guardian Games Track Jacket, which comes with patches for all three classes, so you can switch it out. And then it
Interesting.
also says participate in the final weekend's closing ceremony at the tower to unlock a purchasable gold pin commemorating the winning class. Fancy. There is currently a pin available at the moment, which is a silver class pin. So don't worry, it's not just going to be the winners that get a pin, because the pins actually look pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like them. There's also going to be if you complete a single Guardian Games playlist strike, you get a emblem, which in my
Perfect.
opinion looks pretty
Finally
cool.
something I can get.
Finally. And that's Guardian Games.
I think
I love
I'm-
this. This is
I think it's a
amazing.
lot
I'm
better.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
this
innovative,
feels like
yeah.
an actual event that it's not just here's some different bounties and some different cosmetics for you to get. It's like it's an actual event. I like
When they
this a lot.
change the way the
I
game
really like it.
feels and operates, I'm always a big fan of that. Like I'd like to see, like you said, with events, like I want things to change with events. So it's like it's a limited time thing where this is happening, and like I like that. I want to see them do more of that.
I like that you can keep score as you go too. It always felt like you get into events like this,
Yeah.
and you never knew like how your
Right.
team was doing until the end when they announced the results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think hunters are going to win?
Of course they are.
TV, how do you feel?
Wait,
About
I don't know. I would like to.
this? Like a
I think it's
scientific
going to go
analysis
to
from
Titans
TV.
again.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go to Titans again.
Any particular reason?
Because I'm just spitballing. I mean, I'm just talking out my butt.
You don't
But
have
they-
scientific fact behind you?
They play PvE more. Okay, they're going to be in
That's-
that Vanguard. They're going to be in that playlist forever.
I happen to have the people who are PvE like gods that I know are like really, really talented Titans. And these are the kind of guys that they'll stick with it. They'll be meticulous. They'll get the right build together. They'll understand the ins and outs and how to optimize and how to get it done. And they'll be the slow and steady, that wins the race. I think if I had to pick one, I think it's going to go to Titans.
I feel like
And
that's
I'm a warlock guy.
I feel like that's more of like when the meta shifts, the PvE gods always shift to whatever is going to get it done the most efficient. And right now, you are right. Titans are the most efficient.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we'll see. I do like that it seems like it's going to be more competitive throughout the whole thing, which is nice because when you start seeing any class just
completely
run away with it, it does make people go, well, I guess I won't bother.
Hunters,
It
hunters do lose
remains to be
interest pretty
seen,
fast.
but it seems like the way they're doing this, it's going to be hard for one class to run away with it.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you consistently lose, you're just going to get 10%, 10%, 10% buffs.
Right,
Yeah.
till it evens out. Yeah, I'm really curious how this is going to play out. If it's going to be there's a glaring flaw that when they play it live turns out to be like, oh, it's just constantly the same thing over and over, or if it really did fix the problem with class balancing. From
It
player
doesn't matter
composition.
what happens with it. People will be mad.
That's true. That is a constant
Get
we
ready
can camp
for it.
on.
It's my whole
Can't
brand
find-
is to be mad about it. Gotta do something. Gotta be mad about something.
Death, taxes, and people salty about video games.
Right. Like, I
I'm
mean, they
looking forward
delayed
to it.
taxes out of April, so now what am I going to be mad about in April?
True.
Perfect. Guardian Games.
To finish out the TWAB, so last time they had us vote on ornaments, which was Dino versus Monster ornaments. Pick who was going to win for Festival of the Lost. Well, they're doing a similar thing now, but they've picked 12 weapons as candidates for new ornaments. So there is a survey that you can take and cast your vote to pick 3 out of the following 12 weapons. So you have Crimson, Fighting Lion, Graviton Lance, Lemonelk, Merciless, Risk Runner, Skyburner's Oath, Sunshot, Sweet Business, Telesto, Trinity Ghoul, and Vigilance Wing.
All right. What do you guys want? What are you voting for?
I think Trinity Ghoul. Well, actually, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Lemon Arc. I used it for a long time, really liked
Yeah.
it, and it's
Lemon Arc
I
was
haven't really
nice.
gotten any love yet. So
It hasn't.
Yeah,
Maybe
Lemon Arc would be
Sunshot?
awesome. Sunshot got that
Red
awesome
Dwarf.
upgrade.
yeah, you got the Red Dwarf, and you've got the Cabal themed one, that red one, the Ferrari red one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's the same color as this shirt, actually.
I think it's hard because I don't use many of these a ton. So it's not immediately like, oh, yeah, that's a weapon I use all the time. I'm super excited about.
I like Risk Runner. Risk Runner could use a new look, I think.
Wish I could see the potential.
Does it already have like a 2 or 3 of them? I feel like Lemon Arc doesn't have any, right?
Right. Lemon Arc doesn't have any.
definitely Lemon Arc for sure.
Yeah. I was like, but I want a different gun.
No, I like Lemon
that
Arc.
one.
Lemon Arc. Monarch.
Trinity Ghoul is really fun. I'd be down for another look for it.
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of these guns are so old that I just don't want to use them anymore because I'm bored of them. That's the only problem. Like Sweet Business, I love Sweet Business in like 4 years ago. I thought it was really fun. But I just used it up, and I'm not really interested in using it anymore.
Yeah.
Get that.
Graviton Lance has a lot of really good ones. So
yeah, that space one,
like
good.
really pretty ones.
Yeah.
I think they Graviton might have got some of the best weapon ornaments
Really
so
did.
far. Those are really pretty things. So I don't know what I'm going to vote for yet, but let us know in the comments. Oh, engagement.
Ooh.
Tell all your friends to come over here and put their vote here too.
Yeah,
that's
comments
right.
put
In
it,
the
put it
chat.
in here in the comment
Yeah.
section.
Comments.
Yeah.
Shaders.
Shaders, yeah. So important to know about shaders, because next season we're having, of course, transmogs coming, and they're changing the way that shaders work. So that is May 11th is when the season officially begins, and they're overhauling the entire shader system and how they are applied to armor, how you obtain them, all of that stuff. So due to the overhaul, shaders are going to be permanent unlocks. So all shaders in your inventory will be removed. So if you care about legendary shards or glimmer, make sure to delete all of your shaders. Before
I don't care
May
enough
11th.
to spend 8 hours dismantling them all.
Nope.
Mm.
Nope. Just
Like,
take
hey,
them. Take them
We
away.
heard you
Yeah,
like this
it's fine.
system. How about you spend as a final like goodbye to the system that you
Yeah.
hate? Let's spend a good amount of time interacting with it.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm
kind
glad
of-
the system's changing. I
good.
don't care enough about Twitter or Twitter.
Twitter. I don't care about Twitter.
enough
about Twitter.
He's
Glimmer or
already got
legendary
Twitter
shards.
questions on the mind. That's where
I
that
do.
comes
Hey,
from.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
No, I'm not that. Briar. Jesus. I want to go over the Guardian Games known issues just because,
Yeah.
Guardian Games is coming up. It's kind of nice to be informed so people aren't like, we're a very informative podcast, so we want informative players.
Yes, we're known for that and lore.
Known
Yeah,
for
that's
information.
In-depth analysis.
In depth.
That's right.
TV agrees. See, look at that. Thumbs up. TrueVanguard gives a thumbs up.
The TV
for
thumbs up.
information.
The official TV thumbs up.
So there's not too many of these known issues. But players must wear their Guardian Games class item to generate laurels and any progress with any Guardian Game bounties. Your previous Guardian Games class items do not count. You have to wear the new one. So don't put on your old one and think you're good to go.
Too bad. It'd be fun to rock an old one.
It would be fun. It's the only time I'd wear it because
Yeah.
doesn't take shaders.
Cause
Doesn't take shaders. It looks terrible. It's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Class items acquired from Zavala are awarded at 1250 power level instead of 1300, which can be acquired from Ava if you particularly care. Laurels do not drop on the ground in Gambit or Crucible and are instead rewarded directly to players. Unrecovered laurels do not go to the postmaster and must be picked up to count. Remember, if you're a warlock or a titan, no matter what playlist you're in, it auto picks up. Okay.
all right, wait a minute. Explain it to me like this. I'm drunk. Laurels don't drop on the ground, but if you don't pick them up, they
or
don't
Crucible.
count.
So
Okay. I
in
got it.
Gambit or
Okay.
Crucible, but everywhere else, they will drop on the ground and you have to pick them up.
Okay.
If you're a hunter, of course. Naturally.
Yes.
If the medal case is full, medals earned through claiming triumphs will be lost. So turn in your medals if you're a hunter. Okay. The laurel acquisition step of Heir Apparent Exotic Quest only counts laurels picked up off the ground. So I guess so. Gambit and Crucible doesn't count towards the.
Well, that's not good for me.
Yeah, me neither.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
play
weird.
PvP.
Well, hopefully that playlist fun.
Mostly.
Strike playlist.
Yeah.
Players will not be able to deposit medals if they are acquired in the tower after players have already deposited medals of the same rarity. Players can return to orbit and head back to the tower to deposit them.
Wow.
So if you're like,
Okay.
oh, I won't let me deposit, just go to orbit, come back.
Okay.
On Warlocks,
bugs.
I have some bad news for you. Certain shaders may erroneously remove the glow from the Eververse Warlock Guardian Games Universal Ornament set.
No.
Darn.
Shucks.
I love how sympathetic you are.
So sad.
Deeply concerned.
The empathy. It's touching.
They did, I believe that was a tweet saying that they are working to fix it, though.
Thank goodness.
And besides that, I want to give a shout out to our good friend Mr. Fallout, who got
I got
the movie of the week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's
Don't
good.
play
too.
it on your
Watch it.
stream
It's fun.
because the music in the video is DMCA-able. So be careful.
We got 3 great guys there with the movies of the week. Because with Lego,
Yep.
if you don't know Lego, check him out. He is
Everybody
such a
knows
nice
Lego.
guy. What a freaking great guy, like criminally so. And
Criminally nice.
and Daddy Tej is a great guy too. Real nice dude.
Yep. Check all of them out.
Yep.
And also check out the art because the art this week was nuts.
Mm-hmm. It was
Like,
awesome.
The Proving Ground strike art is so
That's dope.
detailed. Yeah.
That's dope.
It's
Wait, that's
beautiful.
not
And
a
then-
picture of the game?
No, that's fan art.
What? That's amazing.
It is beautiful. I was just looking at it. It's like all the details, all the different weapons, the different armor, the Cabal fireballs flying through the air. It's really
Yeah.
cool. I like it
The
a lot.
That's
dead
really
man's
good.
tail and at the hip even for the
Yeah.
hunter.
Mhm.
So good.
That's what I was saying. The attention to detail with it is really, really good. And then you have cute little burbs, which is adorable. The art's adorable. I really like this week's art. It's very, very pretty.
That art, the birds would make a good desktop wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the crow though, Briar? Don't answer that question.
He's gonna eat it.
5-piece chicken nug.
Who's in the mood for some wings, baby?
So you gonna wrap up the show?
Yeah. Briar.
TV, you want to do some Twitter questions? You up for that?
What? Twitter questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's not time
Dive
for
into
Twitter
it.
questions.
Oh, I guess we should. Why not, right?
Let's see here. I think this is this week. Let me just double check that I'm on the right week here.
It's got my ugly mug on the post.
Okay. Umami Ramen
Okay.
says the True Vanguard art for this episode of DCP Live is amazing. Artist appreciation time again. Ash at AR_McD has once again killed this week's guest art, and I find myself always blown away by her and the Destiny community's work.
Yeah.
Who are some of y'all favorite artists?
Ooh.
Hmm.
For me, Gamma Trap is up there. I love looking at Gamma Trap's work, even his non-Destiny stuff is just exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love his work.
he's all the games that he does are
Yeah.
so good. Emily Megan, she's amazing.
Mhm.
Her
Yeah.
art is absolutely insane. Every time I see it, I'm just blown away. And Bagel, who's in chat right now, for my birthday, he commissioned a drawing of my D1 Hunter. And so I
Nice.
have some of her art in my house, and it is up close. It's even better. It's really, really phenomenal. She's
That's
so
awesome.
talented.
I bet. But Ash is obviously the best. I will die on that bridge, and I will fight
Obviously,
anybody who
obviously.
disagrees.
Yeah, Ash is amazing. We say it all the time because she deserves it. She just knows how to draw to just capture people. She can capture
Yeah.
people's personalities.
Yep, exactly.
True talent.
Winter Spartan says, for TV, what is the best sidearm in the game currently?
I gotta go with Traveler's Chosen and Brass Attacks. I adore Traveler's Chosen is probably I would say it's in my top 3 favorite guns in Destiny. Period. D1, D2. I adore it. just because of the nice little mini game you get to play while you're it's just a different way to engage with Destiny. You know, you're sitting there, you're thinking, do I want to crack that sidearm? It's going to aim down the sights faster, it's going to handle faster, reload faster. Do I want that, or do I want to bank all this light I'm stowing up from these domes I'm clapping? You know, and it's just a fun way to play. Brass attacks, I adore brass attacks because it's an aggressive 2 burst sidearm like breach light. But it's in the energy slot, so it frees me up to do some different combinations I never got to do before. Like right now, I like to do Time Worn Spire in conjunction with brass attacks. And with brass attacks, you can get some perk combinations you can't get on other sidearms. You know, you get that Killing Wind Rampage combo, and you couple that with Devour. Bruh, it's so good.
It's nice.
Sounds like the answer is racking.
Real quick before we move on, I wanted, because I couldn't remember the name, so I apologize, Brian Munkus. He does amazing, realistic, gritty.
Mr. Monk.
Yeah, Mr. Munkus does amazing, realistic, gritty, dark art in the Destiny universe, and I wanted to make sure I said that before we moved on.
So good.
That's a good shout out.
I Am Styla says, is everybody, especially TV, excited for Bungie's supposed new PvP game? Tassie made a vid about the recent job listing. Tassie.
Paul Tassie, journalist?
Tassie.
Or a different guy?
That Forbes guy?
He's stealing views from real YouTubers, and I don't like it.
It's not even his full-time job. It's just he's just side.
He doesn't even play on
He's
console.
not even a real gamer.
He's not.
Yeah, definitely excited about it for sure.
Yes.
It'll be good to see what we've all wanted to see what else Bungie's capable of doing, and having the creative license to break away from Destiny specifically and exercise that creativity. I think we're all rooting for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
John PM says, how can the Destiny community change scrub mentality?
One more time, Roland.
It starts from the top.
How can Destiny change?
How can the Destiny community change scrub mentality?
It starts from the top. I think it starts with strong leadership, clan leaders, community leaders, content creators, streamers. If you just have a group of friends that you play with, and you speak up, anybody has the capacity to be a leader. And if you're trying to change gaming culture and looking down on casual gamers, people who are less talented, criticism is the path of least resistance, and a lot of people take it and express it in various forms. But I think it takes strong leadership to help correct that and teach a different type of gaming culture.
Yeah, I think it's always gonna be there though. Like it's one of these things where, just like you said, because it's easy to default to that, like either criticism or gatekeeping, which it naturally becomes. I think it's just one of those things where people are going to get overly defensive about their thing. And when seeing other people get in on it, they're like, oh, you're not a real so-and-so because I've been here since the day one or whatever. Like that's just always going to be a thing that happens. I think the reception to it is what could evolve. Like your reaction to people reacting that way could just erode it away, like if nobody cares that someone is trying to be an asshole gatekeeper, then their voice is going to shrink, as opposed to getting up in arms about this person needs to make an apology video for saying bad things, not that we want to sweep things underneath the rug. I'm not saying that, but like the response to those things tend to fuel it. It's like trolls get fed, and so they still troll or become bigger trolls because of the amount they get fed.
Yeah.
Inverted DJ says, for Mr. TrueVanguard himself, do you think new PvP maps would be enough to get the PvP side of Destiny excited again, or would it need more?
I think PvP players right now they're starting to feel a little neglected, and maps is a great start. I mean, it's a great start, but I think that the players are looking for a full package. And maps are a wonderful way to change the landscape up a little bit, give players a new revitalized experience, a fresh take on a PvP experience that's now 2 years old, really, Forsaken was the last time it was really changed a lot.
Yep.
So it's a 2-year-old PvP game. So we're definitely due for new maps, new environments. But I think beyond that, players are wanting a different vendor system that's a little bit more conducive to making players want to farm for specific reasons.
The grind, right?
And targeted farming and opportunities to showcase their skill in a meaningful way. There's a lot of stuff that goes in there, and there's a whole lot. I mean, I don't want to oversimplify, but I'll say there's a lot of great feedback out there from really talented PvP players, and even PvP players from all skill levels, all across the spectrum, are saying good things about how they would like to see PvP change. That feedback's out there, and we'd love to see some of it get addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Lego says, question for TV: if someone wants to get into sidearms, what skills would you recommend working on to get good? Also, what sidearm perks would you recommend? I love Devil's Ruin, but I'm not great at the sidearm part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with sidearms, really in the current meta of things, one of the best things that you can do to up your game actually just happens from your inventory screen. Pull up your character, start looking at your build. It requires a little bit more foresight, and some planning. There's a lot of great charge with light builds you can do out there, and you can do this. A surprise attack is phenomenal. Actually, me and several other PvP players have posted videos breaking down what surprise attack is capable of. You want to start thinking about getting extra damage anywhere you can. Rampage, kill clip. There's a lot of great ways of ramping up your damage on top of surprise attacks. All that stuff stacks. So just giving your build a little bit more foresight. It's not as simple as, I'm just going to equip this thing, go into PvP, and I'm going to profit. I'm going to be able to hang. So there's that. Also, spacing is one of the best things you can learn is how to properly space yourself with other guardian combatants, and learning how to take wider angles around corners. Just simple stuff that's going to help you have a little bit more room to work with.
Alex says, would a ping or call out system implemented into trials make the solo experience able to work without having to split the playlist?
Before you answer that, TV, I'm curious, what do you think about the idea of a freelance or solo queue option in trials versus how you have to have a pre-made? Because that kind of dovetails into that.
My stance on that is I really wish Bungie would have experimented more with Crucible Labs. And I think that's a great candidate for a Crucible Labs type experience. Let's try it out. Let's not commit to it. But hey, let's try it out. Let's make that a playlist for a weekend. In Crucible Labs, try it out and just kind of gauge some feedback, see what the community thinks of it, because you always have this disconnect between what the community thinks they want and the reality about how that would play out. And you've seen that go a lot of different ways in gaming history. Sometimes that's worked out well, where the community says, we want this. They get it and they love it. And then other times they say, we want this. They get it. They hate it. And it just creates more problems for the developer. So I think that Crucible Labs would be a great option to say, hey, let's just give it a shot, gauge some feedback, gather some data. We'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure.
The ping or call out system, I think, would be great. I kind of welcome it in every game it gets implemented in. It's just so convenient to use.
Systems Apex really knocked it out of the park with theirs. And lots of people have been doing similar things or the same thing. I would love to see a ping system in Destiny.
Yeah.
It'd be useful in PvE as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I wouldn't want a ping system.
Fran exactly where to put that.
PvP.
You wouldn't want it? TV? No? Why not?
No, I personally would not like that. As a predominantly solo player, even coming from that perspective, one of the things I rely on the most is my ability to position myself well and get the drop on people. And I don't want to be punished for doing so and having one player try to draw everyone's attention to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that would fit well with a game as fast paced as Destiny PvP. Maybe in trials that it could have a good presence there, but obviously it works in a game like Apex Legends, and they nailed that system. But it's a battle royale. I mean,
yeah, it's a good point. The pacing is very different.
It's a completely different pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was definitely. I would not want it in just regular Crucible. I queue up and someone's just pinging their ass off. And
That's
something
true.
like Trials, I could see how it could work there. I wouldn't want it in just regular Crucible.
What I like about the system is it helps out people who haven't necessarily teamed up communicate. That's what I really like about it. And even in Crucible, I could see that really coming in common. Yeah, you're right, though, Watson. Can definitely be abused. Like anything, I guess.
Yeah, people die too quick in regular Crucible. So you are right. Like, the ping system would be like, I pinged them. Well, then they died right away. And now it's a useless ping on the map.
K Brash says, what changed regarding receiving new Crucible maps? Did it used to be someone's sole job and they left? Were map designers moved to other projects?
Man, this is like such a curious question. I'd love to have the actual answer from Bungie of why they pulled back so hard. Because it's such a weird thing. Like, this has been a standard in video games to have a new PvP map with your releases. At least one, and if not 2 or 3.
Yeah, we can only guess, right? And I would love to hear about, what happened, because it was a frequent thing. Every update, you were like, okay, there's going to be, at least one new Crucible map. And we haven't had anything. We haven't heard anything in so long. I would love for someone just to touch on it. That's why I kept saying, I'm sure they're going to say something in the big update about State of Destiny, and it never happened.
Yeah, like know your.
I mean, the PvP team did leave, right? And timing wise, it kind of corresponds, right?
Did they leave, or they just disband and formulate other?
I mean,
stuff?
the names that we're familiar with on the PvP team. I mean, I don't know how much of the team that's internal Bungie stuff that I'm not familiar with, but I mean, like the guys that used to be on podcasts,
right,
talking about PvP, are no longer with Bungie.
I always feel like there's always a couple, 2 or 3 people like understudying at any given time at those positions because they need people to come up with ideas and further it. And they know that somebody's not going to spend their entire life on one project. So they know like stuff rotates,
That's right.
Yeah. But from the outside looking in, I mean,
sure. It feels that way. Absolutely.
It
from a player perspective,
time-wise.
It absolutely feels that way.
Sure. The only 2 guys, all I can say is this, the only 2 guys I know who have done map work specifically are still at Bungie. But I don't know. Are they doing map design still? I don't know. Did they change their role? Are they doing map design for one of their prototype projects for their PvP spinoff? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why I think like
could be.
I feel like a lot of those resources from a player perspective feels like they were put over towards these other games that are probably going to be more designed for PvP when PvP in Destiny feels to have so much strife added to it when people get all angsty. Like, look at Stasis. Stasis was such a polarizing thing for a lot of PvP players, right?
Was it? I feel like everybody pretty much lined up on one side against Stasis.
Pretty sure it was just smooth sailing from
Kill it with fire. Kill it with fire.
There's a lot of people who are like, there's a lot of people who are like, Destiny is full of space magic and you need to accept the fact that things are going to be crazy and you got to adapt and all that. And then other people are like, this is not Destiny. You've ruined it. You need to get out of the game. Like,
let's just make Burning Shrine and just keep flipping it in different directions. Call it a new map. Put flaps and different paint on it. I'll
bring the sun back so it's
Make
so bright that you can't see what's going on out the doors.
I will say though, the lack of a Europa map is really big. Like this, this is their big entrance into a revamped engine and like introducing a brand new class and all that. And no PvP map with that expansion. I was like, whoa.
Europa, the Clovis Bray facilities specifically, just a wonderful aesthetic. It's just such a wonderful aesthetic.
Yep.
But it goes beyond that too. We lost all the Forsaken maps. So all of the most recent content, we don't have a Europa map, Clovis Bray facilities specifically. We don't have Dreaming City. We don't have the Tangled Shore. I mean, all of these spaces have they're gone for the PvP player. And it's a shame. Dreaming City is beautiful. Citadel, as poorly balanced as a map as it was stunning. I mean, it was such
it was a beautiful map.
Absolutely gorgeous map.
God awful.
And I know a lot of people dislike Gambler's Ruin.
I liked
I
Gambler's
sincerely believe that Gambler's Ruin was one of the better new
Uh-huh.
maps we'd gotten in a long time. Love
It
that map.
was. It genuinely was.
And the Tangled Shore is such a cool aesthetic too, and I miss it.
Yeah.
And I don't get to interact with it as a PvP player anymore.
Yeah, the other side of it too that I'm surprised we haven't seen, although I think more people are going to be like, yeah, why would they do this? I think it's weird that no new Gambit maps either.
It is weird.
So, because the same thing, Europa Gambit map, I could totally see that.
They're just not making maps. Period.
Yeah,
That's not a thing we do anymore. We're
Yeah.
not-
Yeah, we don't do it. We're over it. We work past it.
they're like, you have
I like
maps,
that.
go play on them.
Doughboy says, have you guys ever gone back and listened to an old Planet Destiny podcast? Funny to hear you guys talk about the future of the game when I know how it actually turned out.
Interesting.
I bet that's
have
funny.
not.
I feel like I'm gonna listen to it and go. "Ugh,
It's like
Done good.
ugh."
it's like old YouTube videos. I don't go back and watch old stuff that I've done unless I'm really looking for some cringe in my life. It's always weird to go and look at your own stuff. It's the curse of a content creator.
It can be weird, like watching your own stuff in general, but then going back to where you were maybe a very different person or whatever it may be is very weird.
Mhm.
That was 6 years ago, too, that we started that
That was a
podcast.
long time ago.
Yep.
Logan G says, not sure if it has been discussed before, but would you like to see Destiny move toward an M rating? After reading the Presage raid, a long article, it made me feel like the mission could have been even better with less limitations. Could Destiny's story benefit from this too?
A little more rip and tear, a little more decap.
Yeah, not
Just
going to happen, I think.
Tear
I
the
don't think it
Drake's
needs
arms
it.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for games. Obviously, to have an M rating, I played plenty of M rated games. But one of the things that I love about Destiny is how approachable it is, and honestly, my son loves he loves like the strike bosses specifically. You show him pictures of strike bosses, or he comes down and he watches the strike. He's like, "Oh, that's the big guy, isn't it?" You know what I mean? And it's fun. I like how approachable it is. And Destiny's narrative is so strong. It doesn't necessarily need that to push the narrative, I don't think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they can
What would
communicate some more
adding an M rating
thing.
add? Like, what would
Well,
it?
this is the
what would it add?
thing, right? I think that Destiny or Bungie do a really good job of creating quite a dark story, but having it still be approachable and available for lots of people. So I guess you could add more drugs, more swearing.
I
more
do like
blood.
drugs.
I think there would be a lot
Sold.
more side boob in the game. Maybe some side
Maybe
boob
my
armor.
hunter can get some Monster Hunter-esque armor.
Mhm.
Maybe with a little more.
Maybe
booby-
even see a little, Ikora might be a little naked in his cutscene.
Whoa.
Tasteful side.
Yeah.
tasteful.
M isn't just about
Tasteful.
ripping monsters apart and seeing blood. Okay.
It's also about boobies.
A Raging Hat says, do you think you would enjoy a PvP mode that is vanilla Destiny 2 loadout style, double primary, one special? I think it would feel pretty good in the current sandbox.
No heavy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, heavy was kind of all, it was shotguns plus rockets plus snipers.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough.
I actually don't know.
I kind of guess I'm in the mindset of let Destiny be Destiny. I think Destiny is most true to itself when special weapons are readily available, and I know that is a much bigger challenge to keep that game balanced. I fully understand that. We've been dealing with that for years now, but it's Destiny, and I would totally be fine with them trying to experiment with a much more controlled PvP experience with this new IP they're working on. That's fine. And I'd love to interact with that and see what that's like, but let Destiny be Destiny.
James Carey says, who are you rooting for in the Guardian games and why will they lose to Warlocks? James, I think you meant to write into firing range, James. This is Destiny Community Podcast. Wrong podcast, James.
I'm going to be rooting for the dregs.
William.
Briar's like, I'm moving on. What are you doing?
I'm rooting for the dregs, man. Surprise fourth class.
Okay. William James Corwin says, now that there is more concrete evidence that Bungie is making a highly competitive PvP game, do you think that that's the reason there's less new PvP maps? I think we kind of talked about this, so I'm just going to
I
move
could have
on.
swore that question was earlier.
I just want to know.
Maybe I asked it twice. It could be.
Is Dreg's Promise going to be in this new game? Is that why they haven't brought it back? Is that why they keep saying
interesting.
no?
Little Dead Man's Tale.
The Uber Tuber coming back. William James Corwin says, now that there is more, I just read that question. Super Say says, do you think the community would like it if they went back to the Destiny 1 Iron Banner system where only 2 weapons and 2 armor were available per Iron Banner and got a yearly refresh? Or would the community cry foul with FOMO for that system these days?
There's positives and negatives for both, right? Like there's a negative of if you have this weapon that people don't really care about that week, that kind of makes the playlist not as populated, which just makes a bad experience. But I did like the, which weapon is it going to be? This Iron Banner. Oh, it's this one. Okay, cool. I'm going to play a bunch and try and get the role that I want. I like that feeling of it. It makes it kind of more of an event that way.
Yeah.
On the flip side, if they approach the weapons and those rewards with a little more exclusivity, like you can only get this from Iron Banner, it's only going to happen a few times a year, because if it's so exclusive, then they should make every weapon a hit and let the mediocre ones be the common drops that can happen anytime around the world or around the universe.
Maybe, so you're saying like introduce a whole new set on top of the standard set. That's like also this week. These are the 2 highlighted ones that are bangers. You say something like that, but you can still get your Time Worn Spire.
I was actually thinking about making the Iron Banner weapons in general, like the future ones that are coming out, real bangers, And then the distinction is that you can only get them during this time when this Iron Banner is happening. So they're coveted essentially. So people absolutely will want to play every single time because they're like, that's going to be a dope weapon that I have to have in my arsenal.
If you combine that with less frequent Iron Banners, I think it could make Iron Banner feel more special.
Potentially, yeah. Maybe.
Jimmy Aaron says, do you think some weapons should be unsunset? I really miss my bygones.
What was that really special, grenade launcher everyone seemed to crutch on in his kinetic slot?
Mountaintop.
Oh, Mountaintop. That's what it was.
Mountaintop.
Should we bring the Mountaintop back out? What do you think, guys?
Hard pass. I think that unproblematic weapons probably will be unsunset, but you'll have to earn them again.
Probably.
MTL Rocker says, why the hell are there no overload champions in the Battleground playlist? Would love to use my bows or my submachine guns to stagger champions while in there.
Yeah, I do notice that with the composition of the enemies sometimes. They like to lean heavily on one, like anti-barrier or something like that. I wish there was more variety in those. I mean, I understand they need to make it so the fire team can make a composition of or an arsenal that's not going to get them stuck, because like a rampant overload that nobody can deal with is a real problem in a high level situation.
It's a problem.
But I like those mechanics. I wish they were a little more spread out on that stuff or more options for them to show up.
Zolo Man says, what one thing would you do from time to time to just have a bit of fun in the game? For example, this week I'm randomizing my loadout every game of Iron Banner.
Random loadouts is always a good time.
Yeah.
Because especially if you have a vault like mine that I never clean and have like 5 of the exact same gun in there for some reason. Random loadouts is great because you just press the button and maybe you find a gun that you haven't used in a really long time and you're like, this is pretty fun. I like this gun. So that's always a good time. I love random loadouts. Except when you come up against the quick play Olympic champions and then you're like, well, god damn it.
Yeah. They're bagging the crap out of you. Like,
yeah. It's like
the year 1 blue.
Like,
I'm using a blue sniper and I'm using
I didn't realize $1 million was riding on this match. Oh my god.
Veritas Otis,
an MLG esports team, like I'm getting signed by Optic today. You're like, I played with random loadouts.
My resume reads, I've beaten this streamer, this streamer, this streamer in one day.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! The people who come in, they're like, "Do you remember we played like 8 years ago and I beat you?" And I'm like,
No.
"No, I don't. I don't remember
used
that
to be
one
a
match.
streamer-
I don't. I'm sorry."
I haven't seen this guy in a long time, but there used to be a streamer that during Trials of Osiris would have a list of all the streamers that he had beaten on the side of his stream, which I thought was hilarious.
Good way to build some community.
What's that?
Good way to build some community.
It was like bounties, you know. It was like having the heads of your enemies hung high.
Amazing.
Like, I beat you. I'm like, a lot of people have. Thanks. That's great.
Get it live.
Congrats.
Mostly everybody, actually.
Almost everybody.
Doughboy says, remember when vault space was a question every week on the podcast? I know it's still an issue, but is it less of the space and more of the junk like shaders and blues that take up inventory and wasting usable space?
Yeah.
I mean,
Partly.
my issue is I'm like, oh, this chess piece is a pretty decent stat roll. I don't want to go through it right now. Guess I'll just lock it. And then it ends up in my vault for 8 years.
Yeah.
The hidden part of getting more vault space was that it now has become such a huge problem once you fill up your vault to go through all of that space and actually filter out the cruft, that it's like this insurmountable job. Like you almost need to like approach it like day to day. Like, okay, I'm gonna look at 10 items today and really like decide if I'm gonna keep it, because it's the unseen kind of curse of having this huge vault now.
Yeah, and when there's a light increase, you feel it so hard unless you have 200 spaces available. Having to because you don't want to infuse constantly, so you're like letting the stuff pile up because you're trying to.
Yeah.
Ugh,
and then I never go back through it.
Yeah, because it's
and
boring,
then I look up my vault
right?
and I'm like, why do I have a page of blues?
What'll happen? I'll be like, I should hop on early before I stream and go through the stuff, take care of it, and then that doesn't happen.
Or I could take a nap.
And then you get on stream, you're like, should I go? I need some space, but do I want to delete stuff out of my vault live on a stream? No, I don't. That's boring. So then you just put it off.
Not if you let chat decide.
That's it. One of the things I wish they would do is like put repeats next to each other. Like I've had this before where I'm like, oh, that's a Nezarec Sin. I feel like I've got 2 of those. I don't know. And then it's like 2 pages later, I see another one. And then on the next page, there's the third one. It's like, just put them together. That way I know, I got 3 of these. Delete 2.
Yeah.
What done?
I still have to rely on third-party apps to even to go through it. Yeah.
So there is a sorting thing that you can do, but the whole issue with it is that the inventory management in Destiny is not intuitive, because it's still held over from these 9 square blocks from the original, because they were like, oh, you're only going to have like a few blocks in your vault space because that doesn't matter. And people are like, I'm going to collect everything in the game. What are you talking about? So we still have this holdover of these 9 squares, and that you have to manage that and flip it over to the vault. But yeah, I don't know. I really feel like Destiny's inventory system could be re-envisioned for the future.
Childish Gambito says, Godzilla versus Kong versus a group of Thundercrash Titans. Who wins?
Zilla.
Yeah, you ain't taking down Godzilla.
He
But
is
how
the
big
king of the monsters.
How many Thunder Crash Titans?
A group.
What's a group?
Let's go with the raid team.
I don't have to kill Godzilla.
Yeah, I don't think 6.
That's wearing the new exotic?
I feel like it's less than a gaggle.
I think Godzilla would just breathe hot molten flames, some laser plasma. Guardian, it'd be like
I
Guardian
gotta
down,
go
Guardian
Godzilla.
down.
I mean, electricity has a history of literally charging him up. Just so we're clear.
You're right.
It's true.
I'm just gonna throw this out there.
You are right.
You know your monster lore. Hitting Godzilla with some electricity ain't a good plan.
Yeah, he might. Godzilla's probably gonna get a little indigestion and be like, "Oh, brr," you know, like burp up a bit, and then he's just gonna come back supercharged. You're right.
123 says, what current car manufacturer created the Sparrows? Does Suzuki still make cars?
I was gonna go Kia.
Well,
Tesla.
Kia makes Tesla.
Tesla.
My little mini Speedy Puff Junior is not made by Tesla.
Yeah.
It's made by some kind of
mine isn't
surfboard
made
company.
by Tesla either. Suzuki sounds right for my Sparrow.
I'm gonna say one that looks like a power tool, so I'm gonna go with DeWalt.
Yeah, right. Mr. Macalito says, with Guardian games around the corner and an unmatched button mashing about to be unleashed for 3 weeks, what cookie would be best as your go-to cookie to have the energy to mash said buttons for 3 weeks in a row? Thanks for everything you do.
Cookie.
You lost me about a quarter of the way through.
Which cookie would be the best for giving you
What's the
energy
best-
to play Guardian games?
What's the best weed cookie, Watts?
I don't know. I don't have the cookies. Although today Cam did tell me that he got some weed cookies, a lot of weed cookies,
A lot.
and they were called Trips Ahoy.
Oh,
Sure.
man. You know, the pot community is a lot like
I
the
know.
dog grooming community where they love to like make these stupid names that make me chuckle every
The names
time.
are so stupid.
Trips
You're
Ahoy's
like, oh,
amazing.
would you like some Big Mommy Milker strain? Yeah,
Eric's would be great at naming pot
Yeah.
cookies.
he would. That's his next venture is a
Yeah.
dad joke weed brand.
I think
Trips Ahoy.
oatmeal
Brings
cookie would be
memory.
good because a little bit of sustenance along with your sweetness, you know, for those
Dude,
long
I-
grinding sessions.
Sucker for oatmeal cookie.
Yeah.
I
You a
love
big
oatmeal
oatmeal
cookies.
fan? I love oatmeal cookies.
Like salted caramel oatmeal cookies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Trips Ahoy, man.
Phil
I'm looking
says-
that up.
Trips Ahoy. It's so good.
Trips
I
Ahoy
was
does
like,
sound
there's
good.
no way. You're lying to me. There's no way they called it Trips Ahoy.
You know what? Thunder Crash could be a pot cookie that's glazed with or maybe it's like an ice cream sandwich, pot cookie or pot sandwich.
Oh, pot
Hot
ice cream sandwich. Oh my god. That is a recipe made in heaven.
Revolutionary.
I keep coming back to pot lasagna. A good, just a comfort, you know.
That would be pretty perfect.
Just saying.
I want to go to one of those restaurants where they use marijuana to cook like a bunch of stuff. It's like everything they do
Take
is
an Uber to
infused
that
with
one.
it. Yeah. I want to know what that's like. Or everything is infused with it.
Walk out of there. If you
Everyone
walk
walks out like, woo! That was a good meal. That's a good way to make sure your food always tastes good no matter what.
Pot?
right?
Well, people are just going to be so high out of their mind. They're like, this was the best restaurant I've ever been to.
Everybody at your restaurant is guaranteed to have the munchies.
Yeah.
Like if the server is like, we just all we ask you to do is just make sure you go on Yelp and give us a rating before you leave. That's the only thing we ask. Because everyone at the end of the meal like, oh yeah, sure, man.
This
Sir,
new restaurant is so popular. All they serve is donuts and yoo-hoo. I don't understand. Phil says, do Tefty and Briar know that when they play MLB The Show against each other, you can create custom stadium and use them online? Maybe you should... Phil, you son of a bitch.
continue the question. I read this one. It's a
Finish, Briar.
legitimate question.
Maybe you could add in a barbecue briar pit behind the outfield wall.
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Done.
I thought we had like a legitimate question.
About MLB Show?
Johnny Warner says, since Guardian Games will be upon us, what is your favorite summer or winter Olympic event? Love the podcast and love the RGH podcast as well. Cheers to everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. Favorite Olympic sport?
Olympic event.
I think I really like watching the gymnastics.
Mhm.
It's always like a big show. People get hyped. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Always enjoy watching.
That is a
gymnastics.
fun one.
Freaking curling.
You know what turned
Curling
me
is
off? Curling is number one. Absolutely.
Curling is
You know what turned me off in
Curling's
gymnastics, though? Is that
The whole
I've started to hear so
sexual
many
assault?
reports. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to
Pretty
watch it
rough.
at all. I'm like, oh, these are all victims of sexual
Yeah.
assault, and now I'm sad. Curling is the one because any sport that can be played at an elite level while holding a beer is something I want to watch.
Yeah. I really like watching the skis. There's anything skiing, like like the long jump or like the slaloms or the speed racing. The speed one, like I don't know the exact names because I'm not like in the industry or anything like that, or a mega fan, but I just enjoy watching it. The speed stuff, I'm always on edge because they're just like one small little calculated error away from possibly breaking their neck.
They're on the edge of catastrophe at all times.
Yeah, from an absolutely horrible accident. And, you see some of them live happen,
Yeah, like people getting mangled.
Yeah. It's exciting.
But it is good fun.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. I can't help it. I'm like,
exciting. You're like, woo!
Person's going
you see
so
them
fast.
flip just a little too high. You're like, oh.
They start hovering and going down like 100 feet down the hill in the air, and they land just off, and it starts, oh, God. They lose their time, and then just, everything's going everywhere.
Yeah, they do make spectacular crashes with skis going on all sorts of different directions.
Yeah.
And then the stretcher comes out.
Achievement Raider says, what future games or game updates are you looking forward to? For him, it's the Valheim and Cyberpunk future content.
Monster Hunter Rise update. Unlock high rank and bring new monsters.
That's going to be really nice.
The only gameplay I've seen in that game to this day is yours. That's the only gameplay I've ever seen in that game is yours, Watts. Tuned into your stream. It looks great. I mean, I love the last Monster Hunter.
Do you?
Rise is so good.
You have a Switch, right, TV?
Yeah, but my kids hog it.
You're like, kid, get off. Got a street.
That's why we have 3 of them.
If my boy doesn't get his mind crashed, boy, it's going to be a rough day. Okay.
I'm really looking forward to Guilty Gear Strive. It comes out on June 11th, which is like right around the corner now. It was supposed to come out this month. Or no, I think it was... now I forgot. I think it was supposed to come out this month, but it got delayed like a month.
In June? Something else comes out in June.
You know, Resident Evil come out in June?
No, May.
No, that's
May?
May.
Pretty sure it's May.
I completely forgot.
It's become a meme in my
What's that?
My off-stream gaming pod is big booby vampire mommy.
Oh,
you ever watch
yes.
yeah.
reviews?
Yeah. My name today on Steam was Juicy Vampire Booty.
Yeah. There you
go. Nice.
Oh, Mario Golf coming out soon.
That's in June, actually.
Yeah.
That is. That's in June.
That's what it is.
I think that's the title that we're looking forward to in June.
I'm still rooting for Cyberpunk. I have 2 full playthroughs of that game, and it's busted as heck. But at its core, it's a good game. It's not what I wanted, not what I expected, but I'm still cheering for him. I want to see him make it right. You know, CD Projekt Red has won a lot of favor in a lot of people's eyes with previous titles, which are, and so a lot of people believe in them still. Really want to see them succeed and get back on top of things. So I'm still cheering for Cyberpunk to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Oh, new game that's coming out, Returnal. I'm very, very looking forward to what they do with that game. Yeah, it's going to be coming out in April. Yeah. Soon.
Hey Blaze says DCP has done events against other podcasts in the past. When is DCP taking on the RGH crew? And why will DCP be victorious in Gambit? RGH, who's that? I'm not familiar.
Oh, Gambit? We can do Gambit.
I want to throw shade, I won't do it.
Let's do Gambit.
Yeah, how do you feel about a Gambit competition?
Listen, so I may have beaten TV that one time when he was playing in a 3v form.
Get some clean snipes on me on that on the big stage.
On the big stage.
That's right.
Undefeated Gambit champion. That was a fun time.
No, but I know the 3v4 you're talking about. I know that
one. My only concern right now is if we were to go toe to toe, even in Gambit, I don't think Briar has stepped foot in Gambit. Maybe
not sober, at least.
Yeah, definitely not sober.
Oh, this is how we do it. Everyone has to get drunk, and then we play against each other.
MTash hasn't played Destiny since week 2 of Beyond Light.
Okay,
so
well, you know what? I guess that does kind of balance out Briar then. So
yeah.
I just feel honored to be compared to M. Tashton anyway.
I think what we do is
really fucking good.
we go buy breathalyzers. I don't know if you can get this off of Amazon, but we should
That's
go
your
see if we
buy-in.
get.
It's gotta breathe a certain level.
Yeah, to start, everybody has to breathe in the breathalyzer, make sure they're properly drunk, and then we play,
I like that
play
idea.
We become true gambiters.
Make sure no one's cheating. You know, gotta keep it a
Exactly.
clean drunk match.
Keep it honorable.
Colin Burns says, "Hey guys, hope you're having a good week. My question is, what would it take for you to try Stadia again? Genuinely curious, since it seems to work fine on my terrible 10 megabits per second internet. Either way, love the show and can't wait to watch Hunters take third again in Guardian games. You son of a bitch."
Man, it's really funny thinking about Stadia. I mean, technically it worked for some of the goals that they put out, and there's been people who have been enjoying Stadia because, again, it happens to work for them in the area. The problem is Google at large has mishandled the marketing and the messaging from what Stadia stands for, and also the pricing
structure.
Yeah, between the pricing, so pricing, marketing, and what they stand for, all that, like the whole fiasco with them shutting down the studio so early, it sends such a "you're gonna can this in a year or two" vibe that it's tough to want to get behind it and start putting some of your own money behind there.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I would
my
never
biggest
buy
thing,
a game on there.
You guys are all so serious, but my biggest thing is that I have to set it up, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I have to get it out
one
the box
time I had a
again.
use
I gotta
for
put
it.
it on the desk. I can't do it. It's too much. If someone wants to come and set it up for me, I'll think about it.
That's a lot of heavy
One time
lifting.
I had a legitimate use for it. I was at a hotel. I wanted to play like a new Destiny DLC, and I thought this is the perfect use case. The internet at the hotel wasn't good enough to use it. It's like, otherwise, when I'm at home, there's no reason to use it. I have PCs,
That's exactly
I have
right.
PS5s, I have Xboxes. There's no reason for me to use it.
Unless
even though
you
it's a
want to
fine
play
experience.
Trials, Brian.
I don't. Luckily for me.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
want to, actually.
I was gonna say, what it would take is a world where I travel again. Right now, I'm at home. I got all this high tech gaming equipment. I don't need Stadia for jack crap, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Here's like the biggest issue is that Stadia is going to have severe competition very soon. My brother just got Xbox Ultimate Game Pass, and he tried out the streaming service, and he was like, "This is amazing. This is the future." And like,
this is
like he just spent the 15 for the Game Pass Ultimate and was like, "Okay, I'm playing games right away. This is crazy." And I was like, yeah, then that you don't get that messaging from Stadia. You're not going to spend $15 for Stadia and suddenly have access to a huge library that's available. They're going to be like, great.
That's how they fucked it up.
Yeah.
They just fucked up the pricing model.
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Also, if they got RoboCop versus Terminator 2 on there, then I'd be signing up.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
If they can manage to acquire PlayStation's entire library that's going away.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued.
I'd be even more nervous because then what if they just be like,
imagine if Google
let's
bought
shut it
Sony.
down.
Oh, fuck. That'd be a bad day for gamers.
That would be a bad day.
Sony's just remaking 5-year-old games anymore, anyways.
Right?
Yeah. Stanley, the bunny girl connoisseur, says, "Hey DCP, what games have you played that had amazing character creator tools?" He recommends Black Desert Online Creator Tool. It has a lot of sliders that allow you to make amazing looking characters. Also love the show. Look forward to it every week. Dude, it's Conan Exile.
Yeah,
with the dick
dong,
slider.
The dong slider.
Yeah.
The actual
You could
answer
make
is
it so
Code
big
Vein,
it dragged in the sand behind you. It was hilarious.
Code Vein has so Code Vein character creation. Basically, it's like, do you want to do anything? You can do literally anything you want. Anything you could think of, you can make it happen. Neo 2 is pretty good. It's definitely up there.
I just bought a copy of that, Watts.
Oh,
I bought the PlayStation 5 remake copy or remaster.
It's got to be one of my favorite games ever. And the character creation is really, really, really good. But Code Vein's just like, here's 8 different layers for hair. choose color and style, and then there's like you can get wings, but you can change if you don't want them to be wings here, you can change them to be like a wing necklace or wing on your shoes. So they allow you to take anything and put it anywhere.
Does it have beards?
Great. You could make a beard.
Okay.
Make a
Do
beard.
whatever you want. Yeah, with
Make a
various
beard.
different.
How do you make a
I
beard?
made this one.
You made a
Yeah.
beard.
Do you grow a beard
Yeah.
in Code
You
Fan?
guys make beards.
Muttbeard says, as someone who will be soon living by myself for the first time, what should I buy? Beer.
Trips Ahoy, a whole package.
Chips Ahoy and some
Right?
beer. You're set. You're
Nobody
good.
can tell you to leave
No.
those chips behind. You just sit there on the couch, you eat the whole pack.
Buy a vacuum.
Vacuum. All the things you don't think about.
That's
Like
true.
you're probably gonna need a ladder. You know, ladders are
Ladder,
good.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ladders. You're gonna realize you need a
I don't know.
ladder.
If you live in an apartment, do you need a ladder?
Light
I
bulb.
I guess
Air
it depends on
fryer.
where you're living.
Air fryer is good, yeah.
I gotta get one of those things. Everybody keeps talking those
They're
things.
great.
Up.
Use it today. Made French fries with them.
You can buy pizza.
Pizza and like
Get a.
have it delivered.
You can get a cup holder for your shower beer.
Shower beer, yeah.
A duster might be smart. Yeah. To get your dust on. Maybe some pans.
That's lame.
Blowing hookers. Next question.
There we go.
Some blowing hookers.
Ryan says, "Hey TV, if you could wipe one podcast question from the collective DCP host memories, what would it be?"
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot with that. I don't even know. Get the Guardian game stuff out of here,
None of those questions.
because all you guys
All those
talk about is hunter elitism, and it's just
Whoa.
What are you talking about? How dare you?
I am
He's
offended.
a warlock main, and Briar's a day one
Yeah.
warlock.
he
I
doesn't
was
play
a
the
day
game
one
once.
warlock.
He doesn't play the game. He doesn't make nothing. He's too busy playing Joe and Mac on some old school Atari.
Going back.
Oh, this was back when gaming was great. Playing Joust.
Ooh, I love Joust. Gary says, wondering if Briar picked a car yet, and I thought Briar only drove Lambos. How dare you? I would never
Ferrari.
try something so ostentatious as a Lambo.
He's
Why did he
Ferrari.
test drive a Mustang? Answer, please. Oh, they're like,
saw that
I don't know, $200,000 less than a Ferrari.
Hold up.
That's probably the primary reason I drove,
But you are
drove a Mustang.
You're just settling?
What's that?
You're just settling on the Mustang? You're not investing in the experience of being a Mustang owner? You're just like, oh, I guess I gotta settle for a Mustang.
I guess so. I
Wow.
guess everybody's settling if you didn't buy a Ferrari, right?
No,
Yep.
I don't think so. Definitely
Briar,
not.
you're not using your trust fund baby money towards a Ferrari, and I don't understand why.
The Ferrari's in the shop getting a wizard and a wolf with a moon background painted on it to match my t-shirt and my Crocs.
It really sets the tone. You're there for business.
Oh, well, can you get can you get
Gotta
tires
represent.
that make it look like it's wearing socks, so then you're wearing socks and Crocs?
That'd be hilarious. get colored tires, like the color, like blue
Mhm.
Crocs. Do you guys ever see that YouTube channel Vice Grip Garage? No, he just did. He just restored a Chevelle or a Chevette. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
And when he found it in his whole shtick is he buys cars off the internet. He goes finds them, and they're not running. They haven't run in 20 years, and he drives them home.
My father-in-law is totally into it.
Yeah,
Which
he's a
checks
really
out why
funny
you
guy
like it.
too. Yeah, that's true. He's a really funny guy too, but he found this one that was painted like an American flag, and then he put tires on it that burn red and blue rubber,
Oh.
so like they make red and blue smoke.
Oh wow.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that was a long story. I'm gonna move on. Buzzard says y'all crash land on a remote island, unable to hunt for food due to your injuries.
I know where this is going.
Uh-huh.
Crow, Host Light, and a lone warlock are your only hope to secure food. Who do you trust? Also, Briar cannot be eaten.
Why?
Space
What's the
magic.
rule?
Due to infection.
Oh,
Due to infection?
why don't we just cook it out of you?
Can I not just like boil it?
Yeah.
Why do I have to have an infection? How about my friends just don't want to hurt me?
We tell the crow to apply an ointment and then cut off a piece.
I'm not letting that quack anywhere near me.
From the
I'd
infection,
go with
you'll
the
be out
crow.
cold.
You know, he woke up alone. He had to survive alone. He had to make do.
He's got
And we
skills.
found
Killed our
out he's
best friend.
resourceful.
And our mentor.
Nah. Cade was funny, but he was just all right.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I wouldn't necessarily trust Cade in a serious situation because he might be a little like, oh, this is fine. It's really not. I want to have a beer with Cade. That'd be great.
All I know is that one day he told Zavala, "Hey, I'm leaving the tower to go get some milk," and he never came back.
That's because Crow shot him in the face.
Aldrin shot him in the face. Not Crow.
Not Crow.
Briar.
Well, that's before he tried to showboat in front. Well, I mean, I get it. Petra is hot. And he tried to showboat in front of her. He's like, look at me, I'm riding this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go down here and fight some dudes on my own.
That's true.
Pretty
He did.
cool.
Yeah.
He was thinking with something other than his head. You know what I'm saying? And he got himself
Is
killed
that
for it.
big horn on his forehead?
Not that one.
Charles B. Davis says, "You die."
Oh.
A screen pops up for your end of life stats. What highlight and or fails do you hope to show on your overview?
Fails was I never had Trips Ahoy. Damn it.
Yes.
You never had Chips Ahoy?
Trips Ahoy.
Oh, this is what I get for reading chat. Oh, now I
don't
look
have
foolish.
Any idea? It almost like trivializes his life to think about it as like a stat screen.
Ooh, yeah. That's actually a good point. Stats are
My
bad.
stats are definitely very low in the body working category. Stat is high in knee pain, back pain. Stats are low in physical activity.
My
How about
liver
like a-
performance is 10 out of 10.
How about like a slider, like overall impact on the lives of the people you loved? That'd be a good one. How'd you do? Do you want a second shot at it? You can do better. You can get it better. Go ahead. Make everybody's life a little better. You can do it.
Stats of laughing. How many laughs?
How many minutes left?
How many laughs per second? That's got to be a friend spreadsheet.
LPS.
LPS.
Yo, Mr. LPS, bro. Need to build that ain't cutting it.
Those are rookie numbers. Bring those up. Trigger Blade says, I want to thank you guys for telling me about Wario 64. I was able to get a console for my brother today because of that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Second, how many jalapeno toppings is too many jalapeno toppings?
On what?
Good question. Follow up next week, Trigger. We're going to need to know exactly what we're putting these
Because
toppings
you know,
on.
a pizza and a sandwich are very different sizes.
Yeah, the ratio.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it depends on the jalapeno. Sometimes you get
Yeah, sometimes you get a weak ass jalapeno. You can throw it almost tastes more
True.
like a kind of a sweet pepper than a jalapeno.
Yeah,
Poblano.
you get
My
the
dad
opposite.
home grows jalapenos, and jalapenos, I mean, they're pretty mild in the pepper family, and I love spicy. And so he'll bring peppers up all the time. He does tons of peppers. And one year, I don't know what he did, but he brought up these jalapenos, and I took a bite of it, just thinking it's a jalapeno. I cut it up, wrapped it in some salami, popped it in my mouth, no big deal. And I was like, holy crap!
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm used to. I mean, I eat ghost peppers. I'll eat anything. I love peppers. And he was like, "Bruh, come on!" He popped one in his mouth. He's doing the same thing. We're both in the kitchen over the sink. The thing is, I forgot about it. And that night, before bed,
Oh,
I go to the bathroom. I go to take my contact out.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, it was was oh my gosh.
that's
I have
rough.
never had a jalapeno that spicy. My eye burned for 2 weeks. I couldn't wear contacts. I wore
Jesus.
glasses only. It was that bad.
Wow, that's
Holy
intense.
crap.
I feel like
Did he get him from a
jalapenos-
different spot, or like what happened?
I don't know what he did. But his batch the next year, just totally
Yeah.
normal jalapenos.
I feel like there's a
Just
certain
normal.
wild card energy in jalapenos because I've had them too where it's like, it's super mild, nothing's going on.
Then
And
other times they're
just-
like, "Dude, I'm gonna F you up."
yeah, one, you bite into one, you're like, damn, what is that? What is going
Like,
on
bro.
with this jalapeno?
VHRP says, if you are on death row, what would your last meal be?
Those
Briar rabbit.
jalapenos, obviously.
What is the longest meal you could possibly eat?
Briar rabbit.
Right.
Especially if you have to prepare him,
Yeah.
You guys suck.
Hey, would you want to be uncomfortable for like your last meal from eating so much?
I mean, it doesn't matter what your last meal is. You're going to be uncomfortable because they're about to kill you.
My
Hey,
last
Trips Ahoy
meal.
might be a good
Yeah,
call.
I was gonna say Trips Ahoy. I'm gonna eat an entire, maybe more than one bag. Lots of bags.
I don't know if I
Bag.
want to be high while they're walking me toward an electric chair.
I don't
You want
care.
to
I'd
be
be like,
perfectly sober? Let me
going-
ask you that.
Maybe
Going for
drunk.
the
I don't know if high,
afterlife.
though.
So you're assuming the
Ooh,
chair.
ooh, ooh.
Maybe they're giving you the big shot.
Ooh. Well, I
It's
hope
most
they use the
likely
same
gonna be
needle,
the-
needle they used in the COVID shot because that was painless.
Dude,
Hardly
that
even
was
felt
the
to go in.
easiest shot I ever had, man.
Yeah. Lord Beerus says, "What's your best riddle?" Also, Briar, you should do. Oh, Briar, you should do Crisis Core for PSP on retro slot. It's in our plans, actually. What's your best riddle, guys? I hate riddles. I'm
Best
sucking.
riddle.
I don't know
like
any
the
riddles.
logic.
I'm gonna
Off the
Google
top of my
riddle.
head, no.
Yeah, this is not something that I remember.
I don't know any riddles off the top of my head, but I got a decent dad joke for you. Ready for it?
Let's
All
have
right.
it.
yeah. Love a good dad joke.
So the other day, I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. And I'm not sure what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day.
Did
That's a-
they
that's
got, you
a
got
pretty good,
that's pretty
laces,
good.
That
you
is
got laces
confirmed.
and tripping.
You get it?
Yeah.
Lace, tripping.
I
Now
gotta.
you got to explain it to make sure it's really
get it,
confirmed
right?
as a dad joke.
Yeah. 100%.
It was
Locked in.
laced.
I got a riddle for you.
All
Wine
right.
or beer? Whether old Homer tippled wine or beer, julep or cider, history is not clear. But plain it is, the bard, though wont to roam, for one liquid never had left home.
Decided.
I don't
Right.
understand. They answered
Tacarito says-
Briar's leg. Continue. Briar leg wine.
This is why I
Ooh,
don't-
hey,
this is why I
getting me
don't
ready
remember
for
it.
Resident Evil. Briar's in the Sanguini Virginis.
Wow. I didn't even make this. Oh. This makes sense. It's connected.
Briar is a.
Sanguini
I can just
martini.
imagine. I can imagine Briar in like a virgin white gown, ready to be
This makes me
prepared
very
for
uncomfortable.
the wine. Oh, delicious.
Yeah, they're giving you your greatest meal ever
Mm-hmm.
because they can sense fear in the meat. They want you to be happy.
This isn't funny anymore. Taco Rito says, "What's everyone's favorite wing and beer combo? If you could think of one, do you have any other beer recommendations?"
Good beer and good wings.
I pretty much won't say no to beer or wings, no matter the form.
Just don't get fear in my beer, Briar. Okay.
Please, God,
Sons
no.
of bitches. I quit. You can join the Destiny Down Under podcast.
They'll probably go want to barbecue you, so I don't know
Yeah.
about that. Put you on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Put another Briar on the Bobby.
And people say this isn't funny.
He's gone.
That's
Well,
all the Twitter
that's
questions,
the show.
guys.
That's the Twitter question.
Briar's out of here. Welcome back, Briar. Are you fearless at the moment?
Matthew says, TrueVanguard, what's your favorite whiskey?
My favorite whiskey, I'm gonna have to go with Whistle Pig. They're 15-year, but also, I mean, if you're really splurging, that Boss Hog. But right now, you guys ready to be demonetized?
Yes.
I'm sipping on some chicken cock.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Good stuff.
It's a good,
Can you
good Kentucky
describe
rye.
the chicken?
It's illegal in this state.
It's a
but,
very
you know.
authentic rye, Kentucky rye whiskey. You know, I like ryes because rye is a really, really American
Yeah.
whiskey style. Okay. Now the bourbon is too sweet because he uses corn. It's too sweet. I like the ryes.
Nice.
Anyways.
Dreadnought says you're offered the ability to absorb knowledge of any book you touch instantly, but the way it works is that time freezes once you start reading, and it won't unfreeze until you finish the book cover to cover. Will you accept this curse, and what book would you read?
Wait, is
So-
it one book, or is it any book you touch all the time?
I think any book you
If you open it, you gotta finish
start
it,
reading.
Yeah.
and you
But
can't
time-
unfreeze time until you finish it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
time does
Yeah.
freeze. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That
get,
sounds like I'm gonna have a killer nap. Let me
But
tell
what
you.
if you
gotta finish the
run
book,
into
though.
a book that really sucks? Like, what if you all of a sudden you by accident like open up Stephen King's It? Like it's 900 pages of just
Just
boring
don't
ass.
accidentally open up a huge book, and then no one goes,
Yeah.
"Whoops."
yeah, that's the thing. You got to become acutely aware of the books around you if
That's
you have
right.
this
Mm.
disposition.
I feel like this is a thing where it's like you just take it because if you don't want to use the power, then you just don't open a book. And if there's a book you really want to learn stuff about, then you get to instantly learn everything about it.
Audiobook.
Mm.
Let's go with an audiobook.
There you go. Oh,
that's
it's an
cheating.
audiobook.
That's cheating.
No, that works.
You're a hunter. Don't act pretentious like, oh yeah.
What
We're
if
above that here.
what if digital forms of books were part of it, part of the equation, where it knows that you're suddenly being exposed to the digital, like picked up a Kindle, and it's like, nope, you got to finish that Kindle. You got to finish what's on it.
You gotta finish the whole Kindle.
I mean, where do you draw the line?
Kindle.
Where do you draw the
Also,
line? If you hear a book quote, oh, it's
Ooh.
digital.
yeah, interesting.
Mm.
That would make me not want to have that power.
Nah, give it to me.
Yeah, because you
Think of all the things I could learn.
Yeah, like that is actually the most interesting thing for me. If I could
Yeah.
just have infinite time to absorb information, like I would be up for that. But are you going to age when
No.
time freezes? Okay.
Not if time freezes, yeah.
Are you still able to get up and move around?
Yeah.
So you could freeze time at any point and be like,
Yeah.
I've
How
read this
about
book.
open a book and then go make
Yeah,
you know,
right?
Yeah, I'll just open a manga book. You can read it in like 5 minutes. Go keep it open, go take a nap. I need to stop time for a little bit. Go open it, maybe
Good
go
point.
rob
You
a
can
Sounds
play the system
amazing.
here pretty well.
That's right. You could leverage this pretty easily.
Yeah. This is a
Yeah.
no-brainer taking this.
Easy.
The Mohican 9 says, what famous figure is your pet named after?
Well,
We named
Tobias
our
is
dog
named-
after Finn from the new Star Wars movies. And then we were
Oh.
extra proud of it when John Boyega ended up being kind of a superhero too.
Mhm.
Oh, he's
It's cool, dude.
great. He is wonderful. Tobias is just named after an imaginary serial killer. So I wouldn't really say it's a famous figure.
Imaginary, huh?
That's not concerning.
I like the name. I was watching
Imaginary.
Criminal Minds. The dude who was in that episode who was a murderer was called Tobias, and I was like, that's a cool name. I like that name. So now we have Tobias.
The murderer.
There's nothing suspicious about. And hey, it worked because when he used to go outside, he used
All
to
the
slaughter
nice
entire
birds.
nations of birds. So
Did he run to the house with the bird in his mouth all the time?
yeah, no, there was one day there was one day where he went into like where there was a nest of birds, and he got a bird and brought it to the house, and I was like, oh my god, this is awful. So I took the bird away and all of that, left it be. He went and got another bird, same age, brought it back. I was like, dear God, what is he doing?
Pillaging
What is
the
he doing?
nest?
So then I went and
Jesus.
followed him And I was waiting for a long time to see where he would go and where he was finding these birds so I could try and, save them. And then I left, he was doing his own thing, and then he came back with 3 birds in his mouth with the whole nest.
Are you proud of me, Mom?
I was like,
Look what
stop
I have
it.
done. I have brought greatness to this house.
I brought all the
Acknowledge me.
birds, Mom. I brought all the birds. No, I've saved many an animals from Tobias.
Wow.
He likes to hunt. It's not even called hunting. He would go out when everyone's sleeping and just pick them out of the nest.
Who's got a higher KD, you or Tobias?
He ain't died yet.
Definitely Tobias. He's kicking ass over there.
Duo Shade says Scotch or bourbon, gin. Oh, okay. This is the last question of the day, but it's like 5 questions. We're gonna go rapid fire. Okay,
Do it.
Scotch or bourbon?
Scotch.
Scotch.
Scotch has more flavor profiles. Bourbon's too sweet.
I like bourbon.
Gin or vodka martini? Vodka.
Vodka martini.
Man, I'm gonna go with gin. I like a good tonic and all that. Gin and tonic.
I feel like
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Yeah, waffles.
Japanese pancakes.
Japanese pancakes.
Not an option. 80s movies or 90s movies?
Ooh.
90s for me.
Depends.
I think I like 80s better.
I'm gonna go with 80s action flicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. 80s.
They're just Velcro or laces?
Crocs.
Laces.
That's the right answer.
I don't own Crocs. I need to own Crocs. I saw my dad's Crocs recently. Went over.
Yeah.
He had they were
Camo?
They were like duck hunting woodsman Crocs.
Camo.
Like woods
Camo
camo,
Crocs.
not like army camo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he hunt in them?
No. Not
Is he
at all.
Is he a murderer?
He's out in the back restoring Corvettes in his duck hunting Crocs.
Peak fashion.
The Croc Killer.
The Croc. Just saying, if Crocs start turning up at crime scenes, you know who to look for.
Watts. It was still Watts. Led Zeppelin or The Who?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with
Zeppelin.
Yeah, Zeppelin.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Zeppelin, yeah.
Usually it's like Stones or Zeppelin. Not The Who.
The Who was really good, but I think Led Zeppelin just has the breadth of catalog.
Yeah. A lot of different variety in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Congratulations. We did it. Episode
Yeah.
234.
Well, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the numbers.
This was episode 234, Briar.
Says
Okay.
you. We're just not counting the 80 or so we did before.
I'm just gonna dub you Captain Petty.
Oh, man.
Hey, we haven't had a good argument for a while on DCP. I think we can.
Fuck you.
We need beef. We need drama, beef. We need an apology video.
Drama.
You know?
Yeah, I demand one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that is the episode. Thank you very much for hanging out, watching, listening. Shout out to our Patreon members for supporting the podcast here at DCP and also our Twitch subs as well. Thank you very much for your kind, generous support. TV, where
Thank
can
you.
people find you doing your non-hunter things?
I do play Hunter every now and then. To be clear. Twitter, TrueVanguard, YouTube, TrueVanguard. If you want to see me stream, TrueVanguard.com. It's that
Nice.
simple.
Yo, and dropping subs too. My gosh. Too kind. Too kind.
You're the best.
It's just 5. Don't get
It's
sentimental.
always great having you.
No,
out.
no.
It was a lot of fun tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
it's
always super, super fun.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you for coming on. I know you're a very busy man.
I wish.
Well, that's where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
Awesome. Yo, bagel dropping.
I'm Briar
subs,
Rabbit.
too.
You can find me tied up in Watts' basement. Please send help. She is
And
a
Crocs.
psychopath.
Send
Please
Crocs
keep-
and help.
Just send Crocs. It'll be fine. You may be in the basement, but you're fashionable. What if
Send-
Pomo uses his bots to get you super special Crocs?
Yeah. How many Crocs does
How
Tomo
special?
own?
Briar's like, oh, the basement's not so bad. Sitting there with his Crocs. I'll give you a mirror so you can check your feet out in the mirror. You know, that'd be
You
great.
got good internet down there?
He sleeps on a pile of Crocs.
Yeah, you got fiber optic internet up in Washington.
Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
See,
All right.
Briar came here on his own. Okay, no one forced
Volition.
him. Yeah.
I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft. Once in a while, I do stream. Hasn't been recent. And I have been doing some YouTube stuff as well. Just search Tefty. And yeah, that's the show. That's the episode. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
We will see you soon for episode 235, Briar. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.